give a couple people a chance to get in here. Okay, DJ Clorox, can you hear me? Can you hear me, DJ Clorox? Hi, DJ Clorox. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, good. Am I coming in nice and loud and clear? Am I nice and loud and clear, my friends? Good. Very good. Very good. I hope that everybody saw that free coupon for the drone that I left in my community page. I hope y'all guys saw that coupon, and I hope you live near a micro center so you can get yourself a free drone. I hope everybody got it. I'm going to drop the link so you can get into the stream. All right, so I dropped the StreamYard link so you can get in. I'm also going to invite people I have on Discord just in case you want to get up in here. Okay, so let's see. How many people are here? Let me just see real quick. Okay, we got 23 people in here. I dropped the link just in case anybody else want to get up in here. So if you got anything to say. Yeah, it was raining outside, so I was a little cold, a little sick. But I'm okay. Nobody came in yet? Nobody wants to get into the stream? I dropped the link for you. Will I do a review on the Camaro? For what? Camaros suck. I'm not interested in anything that they make right now. In fact, it's funny that you mentioned that. I was next to a little red Camaro on the road today. And I was like, Jesus Christ, GM really doesn't put any work in their cars anymore, do they? And it's sad because they had a great opportunity to do something cool, and they didn't. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. Camaro's absolute shit. Just because you make movies of Transformers, you can't count on that to sell your cars. Yo, I dropped the link if anybody's trying to get in here. It's like, where are all my Trump supporters? Where'd they go? One day I was looking on YouTube, and it was like 35 people unsubscribed from me all at the same time. And that was right after the election. Where'd all my Trump supporters go? The guys who constantly gave me all this bullshit every single time I said something negative about Trump. Where's Frankie at? Where's Frankie 72? Where the hell is he at? Where are those people? All of a sudden, they just disappear. Where are they? Where they at? 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 Now, there you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. Where they at? Nobody's trying to join this. Nobody's trying to get in here and talk. Ramel, right now, yo, join in. I want to hear you. I want to hear your voice, Ramel. Ramel, join in on the stream. Yo, share the link with Fantastic and Bro Truth. Share the link with those guys. Where they at? Where's my man? Come on, yo, Ramel. You get up in here. Share that link with Fantastic and Bro Truth. I'd love to get them suckers in here. Where they at? Where they at? Are you coming? All right, I got you. Where they at? Where they at? Where they at? Where they at? Now, there you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. You can still hear me. Okay, good. Okay. Where they at? Where they at? Where they at? Where they at? Now, there you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. Now, where they at? Where they at? Where they at? Where they at? Okay, how you doing, Ramel? What's up?
Hey, what's going on, man? Can you hear me?
Oh, yes, I can hear you just fine. How about that Electoral College?
How about it, man? Like I said, man, I already accepted the fact a long time ago. My only thing was this, man. It's just how look, I've already accepted Joe Biden's already going to be in office. My thing is that why do you always blatantly disregard the clear and concise evidence that the election was definitely there was some fraudulent activity going on?
Because what you call evidence, I don't believe is really I don't really believe it's legitimate evidence.
From forensics, from IT forensic specialists.
Okay, now okay, let me say it like this. Just like when Bro Truth was on there and he's talking about all these IT and forensic specialists, this is what he wants me to accept. See, here's the thing. Whenever I get into an argument, first of all, the important thing about an argument is you have to accept the other person's premise on some level, right? Mm-hmm. He wants me to believe that these unnamed IT pros and all these people got their hands on the election data from 50 different states, and that all of it was so miraculously flawed that you can just point to this Dominion system and tell me that, oh yeah, this was a conspiracy by some other country to attack our election. And I want you to notice something. Notice what states that all of this controversy came up in. Number one, you got Michigan, which specifically came down to Detroit. You've got Georgia, which specifically comes down to Atlanta. You've got, Wisconsin. And what part of Wisconsin did it come down to? Notice how every single one of these challenges was a large urban black population that was surrounded by a thinner white suburban or rural population. So you want me to believe? And let me say it like this. Before I go further, I never believed all that stuff the Democrats said about like the Russians hacked the election and the Russians did all that. And I'll tell you why. First of all, in order for the Russians to have really made a significant impact on the election results, right? They would have had to have known a year in advance that Trump was going to not only get the Republican nomination, but that on top of that, that he would be up against Hillary Clinton and her numbers would be low. And on top of that, they would have to know exactly where they would have to do their cheating. But the thing about it is, Trump didn't get the popular vote the first time. Hillary Clinton got it. And the only reason why Trump won was because he outworked her. He was campaigning constantly. He was campaigning in states that she was not going to. So when she lost, I totally understood why she lost. And I understood that she was going to lose before she lost. Anybody who's on my channel, because you and I are new, you just know me now, right? Mm-hmm. People who are on my channel knew that I knew that Hillary Clinton was going to lose a year before she even lost. And I was making the loud bets. You know how I am. I'm making the loud bets. I was like, yo, Trump's going to win. Trump's going to win. And nobody would acknowledge me, and everybody was saying I was wrong. But what I saw was the fact that he actually had an energized base. I didn't know that he was going to win just by the Electoral College. I thought he was going to win by the popular vote. Turned out that all he did was get the Electoral College. This time around, you know me. I was saying it months in advance, but the people on my channel knew I was saying it years in advance. I've been saying it for 4 years. I was like, listen, Hillary Clinton got that popular vote. Those people are not going to go away. Those people are going to show back up in force, and they're going to take it in 2020. What happened? Those people showed back up in force, and they took it in 2020. So when Bro Truth comes to me, or Mr. Fantastic is talking all of this conspiracy theory.
Okay, but here's the thing, brother. What you said, the forensic people did not come in and say the whole election across the country was rigged. They're talking about this
just the black areas, right?
No. They're talking about them. It is because you kept calling it fake news. Here's actually what happened in Antrim County in Wisconsin. They only did it on one county. Forensic specialists and Michigan judges have obviously deemed it good enough to accept the case. All they're just saying is that votes that were meant for this party were switched by human error, basically showing with forensic evidence in that one county, not the whole country, that they literally switched it from one candidate to another. That's what the forensic. Now, you just said the other day when Marty came on, I respect your professional opinion. Now we have professionals who are from a whole other state. They weren't from Wisconsin. If you look at the people who have an MBA, this guy has an MBA from Harvard and he lives in Texas. That's who did this forensics audit, you know what I'm saying? And he also, another guy he works for Allied Security Operations Group, you know what I mean? So these people have discovered, like, look, in this county, that's people literally rigged these votes in this county. That's all they're saying. So I'm just saying, when you ignore that, say it's fake news, when judges have deemed it necessary, we got professional people. You, like I said the other day, you said professionalism, you respect the professional opinions, but all that goes out the window when it comes to this. I just find that hilarious.
No. Let me say it like this. And specifically speaking about Marty and his opinion, I'll take Marty's opinion as a lawyer over Bro Truth as I have no idea what he is, and over Fantastic as I have no idea what he is. Now, if Marty is genuinely a lawyer, when it comes to matters of law, I'm going to defer to his opinion. It's like I'm not going to argue with a brain surgeon.
So why not defer to these IT specialists?
Okay,
with
so
the
who's
NBA.
an IT specialist? Who's an IT specialist?
Okay, the guy. I put the report up because you said it's fake news.
No. My question to you is, what is Bro Truth?
No, but we're not talking about. Bro. We're talking about the actual.
No, but see, that's the point. If Bro Truth is going to bring this stuff up, in order for you to get me to take it as anything more than a conspiracy theory that you just happened to hear on some conservative website.
Yeah, but this is not that, brother. This is actual news. That's what I'm saying. Forget Bro Truth. Bro Truth is just a messenger. We're talking about the IT specialist.
But I don't believe in him or his message, though.
Okay, but he's a professional, though, right?
I don't know that.
I'll pull it. His report right here, brother. It's Russell James Granslin. He holds an MBA from Harvard University. Okay, and he's literally his credentials are right here.
Let me ask you this question. If there was so much meat in this burger, why didn't Fox News cover it ad hominem? Why didn't Fox News cover it? Huh?
Did they not cover? I don't know if they didn't cover it or not.
They didn't. Let me tell you something. Even right now, I just turned my TV off. I listen to Fox News and I listen to Patriot XM. I've listened to Andrew Wilkow, Sean Hannity, and Mark Levin. Mark Levin's a fucking idiot, so I pretty much ignore his show. But what I'm saying is,
Yahoo covered it.
If this was a genuine,
covered it.
What? Who?
Yahoo
knew. I never saw Yahoo do the cover on that. And maybe if they did, maybe I did see it, but it was something so minute that Yahoo. I'm saying it like this: the conservative channels did not like. I'll tell you like this:
NPR covered it. I can pull it up right now. Who else covered it?
Okay, so you're saying NPR covered it, but now here's a question: when they covered it, did they just cover it as there were some allegations, or did they cover it as there's meat in this burger? How did they cover it?
They covered it as, okay, so actually what happened was that the voters said that they were indefinitely confined for the ballot. And what happened was the courts ruled that you cannot do that. So all those votes that are under the
Okay, wait. I'm sorry. Just repeat what you just said. The court Wait, what'd you say?
Okay, so it's a couple different things. So with the Supreme Court win, a lot of people have actually covered it. Are you just? I mean, I don't know why you're just acting like. I mean,
no. I'm sorry. I just wanted you to repeat what you just said. I didn't catch that completely. I'm sorry.
Okay, so,
I don't know why I'm using my headphones and I couldn't turn it up. I'm sorry.
Okay, so basically, what from my understanding is that a lot of voters had checked and definitely confined to their ballots. Okay, now the Wisconsin court ruled that you can't check to be COVID is not enough to have that designation of indefinitely confined so that you can mail your ballot in. So they're going to try to discredit all of those.
Well, they were trying to discredit them, but that got thrown out.
Oh, that was okay. My bad. Then the other case is the one about the I'm getting them too confused.
Well, okay, Ramel. Let me just say it like this, because here's the thing, and I'm going to cover all of those allegations up front. I'm going to just say it just like this. Most of these dudes have made up their mind not to believe in coronavirus. They're quoting fucking lethality rates and this, that, and other. Okay, fine, whatever.
That's me. I agree with that. I mean,
I can't argue with these dudes. I can't argue with these dudes because all of these people who are not virologists suddenly are coming up with fucking fatality rates and lethality rates, and they're able to compare all this shit. So bottom line is this: if they were virologists, I would take them at face value. I'd say, oh, okay, well, that's what it is. Here's the thing. As far as they were concerned from the very beginning, coronavirus was some ploy to get rid of Trump. And that may have been true. I'm not going to say
you admitting it. Okay.
No, listen. I'm not admitting it because I didn't have anything to do with it. What I'm saying is that very well may have been true. Maybe it was. Maybe some Democrats got together and they were sitting in a dark chamber and they were like, yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to create a virus to take this motherfucker down. That might have happened, but I wasn't there, so I can't say that it's true. What I will say is this. A lot of people made up their mind at the very beginning. They were like, okay, coronavirus is going to fuck up the Trump presidency, so what we're going to do is we're going to go against everything that they're stating for coronavirus, right? My problem is, how can I take anything that they bring up as serious when I know that their end goal is to say, you know what we're going to do? The mail-in ballots allowed more people to participate in the election, and that's why Trump lost. So what we want to do is retroactively throw out all of those ballot data. How can I take that seriously?
Well, like I said, I don't think anybody's trying to throw all the ballots. People just trying to throw the ballots
Trump
out.
said it. Trump came out and said it. He's like, oh, yeah, well, if you count the legal ballots and if you get rid of the mail-in ballots the Democrats put together in order to get, you know, if you
I don't believe. I believe
that shit. You can't do that.
I believe. Look, I told you I believe Biden got more votes. I do believe that, but I do still think that it was a massive, outlandish, fraudulent ways of. I do think that the other side did do that stuff, especially talking about Atlanta.
You're totally within your rights to think that. The problem is the proof. What did Alonzo say in training day? He said it's not what you know, Jake. It's what you could prove.
And we got forensics experts proving it right now. So that's what I'm saying.
But I don't know if those guys are experts because I never heard of them.
I just because you didn't heard of him don't mean they're not experts. You never heard of Marty, but he told you his credentials. He's an expert. You got expert IT forensics saying that this happened, but it's crazy. You only value the expert's opinion when it's in line with what you're talking about.
No, what you should say is that I only value the opinions that are going to get me my money.
Well, that too. Either way, it's still biased. It's still biased, brother.
Well, of course it's going to be biased because the thing about it is, ultimately, I understand. Well, but you got to understand. I wouldn't even. Okay, you can call it a bias, but you got to understand. I've been saying this was going to happen for 4 years. I've been saying this for 4 years, and it happened. So yeah, I mean, there's nothing scientific about it. I've been prophesizing this shit.
Okay, you can call yourself a prophet, but what I'm saying is that you cannot say that the evidence that the experts are bringing, you can't call it fake news and just throw it out. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to have that bias, that's cool, but just understand that.
And I'll also say this. As far as the fake news thing, obviously I was trolling Bro Truth with the fake news thing. But here's the thing. There's so many Trump supporters within these states who voted, and as far as they're concerned, they won, and they don't give a fuck about the other side at all. All the same bias that I carry, they carry too. So the thing about it is, how can I believe anything they say when I automatically know that their bias is towards their guy? But I can't trust them.
I don't know, because the bias, what I'm seeing is that, look, man, just going to sound crazy. Look, everybody has a little bit of bias, but what I'm seeing is that the bias on the left side is like outlandish sometimes. Like you just said, you just ignored experts' opinions on the other side. The Trump side, I find that they will listen to actual evidence, actual logic. On the other side, it's just like, fuck it. I want Biden, fuck Trump. Like their dislike for Trump is so high that they don't listen to the facts, they don't listen to the policies that Trump passed, they don't listen, they haven't read any of that. They just hate Trump because the way he talked, the way he act, or he's quote unquote racist, even though ain't no proof of that shit. You know what I mean? So it's like, I see on one side, it's just like I cut it off just because. On the other side, they're willing to listen to, even on this. Look, I feel like this. So when the police, right? So when they kill black men, right? Mm-hmm. Even when they're just wrong, like outlandishly wrong, like it's no disputing, you will see that on even the Trump supporter side, they'll be like, man, nah, that's messed up, man. They can't even get with it a lot of times, you know. So when it's unjustified, I'm talking about.
No, let me just stop you right there. When it's very, very, very obvious that a police officer is overstepping his boundaries, usually the Trump supporters, who you know are Trump supporters because of their profile photos, usually they'll say, oh yeah, this is clear abuse. However, when I've also noticed in that same amount of time that anytime something happened where it was even the slightest bit of cloudiness, they are ready to take the cop side first. And let me also say this. Let me say this. You said a lot of people are calling Trump a racist, and you said there's no proof of that. Well, just like I mentioned on your show before, as far as they're concerned, the Central Park 5, number one, is proof of it. And number two, when Trump, and we have it on video, when Trump was there telling the cops about abusing suspects and saying, oh yeah, well, when you put them in the car, you should hurt them. That alone invalidates him, in my opinion, for the position of the president. No president can literally tell the fucking cops to brutalize.
Isn't that what Biden did when he said Biden did the same thing when he said lock these niggas up for all these times? Because
listen.
Come on, man, y'all.
There is no way that you can get a videotape.
I don't want my kids.
And I'll dare you to post a link.
I don't want my kids growing up in a racial jungle.
Listen, I looked up.
Who said that?
I looked up that when he said that negative quote, and I realized that he was quoting somebody else who said it. Biden never said that. I'll say that right now, and I'll bet you $1 on it. He never said that.
He did say it. It came out of his mouth.
Somebody.
It literally came out of his mouth.
Huh? No. If I quote somebody, that's different than me saying something. And for these people to try to use that against me just because they think that when I hear the word nigga, I'm going to overreact, that right there says, fuck that. These people are crazy, because I understand how to listen to somebody talk. And if they're quoting somebody else, I understand that the quote did not come from the person.
He was quoting somebody else when he said nigger. On this one, he was not. He was no. That was
okay.
Him.
I'll tell you what. Post the link. Post it. Just all I need you to do is post the link, and I will look at it and I will give it an objective look over. Because I'll tell you, when they tried to pull that shit on me, and I realized that what they were doing was they were purposefully taking him out of context. And number two, I also realized a lot of this shit that you see online, a lot of this stuff is either edited or fake, a lot of it. So when I watch things, I'm very, very careful about how I scrutinize them. And I always, listen, anytime they said, and I'll tell you like this, let me be fair. You remember how they said Trump was putting bounties? No. They said Trump was not doing anything about the Russians, and they had put bounties on the soldiers and everything. The left made that accusation, but they never came up with proof about it. But the problem is coronavirus was swallowing up all the media, so nobody ever really looked into it. I have yet to see evidence about Trump working with Russians who were putting bounties on the soldiers. So listen, there's a lot of shit that the left has said about Trump that they have not proved.
Oh, thank you. And finally, you already admit.
You don't listen.
Let's go down the list.
I'm not unreasonable. You got to remember, I'm a scientist. I'm not unreasonable.
That's what you are by trade?
I have a license in physics, and I have a license in geology, and then I have a pilot license because I was going into meteorological study.
Okay.
So I actually fly. I fly small airplanes. I fly, and I do that recreationally right now because, as you know, right now the flying industry is shut down, as you know. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So all I'm saying is, no, listen. I am not going to be unreasonable. If you come up with real evidence that I can look at and I can you know what, this is what it is. I'll accept it. But my problem is conjecture. When people say shit and can't prove it, or they say stuff that could be true or might be true. And then you also got to remember, when I'm arguing with fucking Fantastic and Bro Truth, these motherfuckers are justifying flat earth theory. So how serious do you think I'm going to take them?
Yeah. When I even told Fantastic myself, sometimes when he has a 10 for your head, shout out to, I think it's all, fun and stuff. It's just, you're going to lose me when you go too far into I
mean, seriously, these guys were trying to, seriously, I'm a pilot. I'm a pilot, and this motherfucker's up there telling me, oh yeah, well, the earth must be flat because a pilot doesn't have to tilt the nose of his plane down. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I mean, like I said, but shout out to them. I don't think that takes away from anything they're saying.
Give them the link, 'cause I'm trying to get one of them niggas in here.
I mean, I don't know what them niggas. Look, man, them niggas pop up. I don't know what these niggas at, man. They subscribe to you. They're But like I said, I've already accepted the results a long time ago. I
know you did.
I just don't like how the other side just disregards evidence and claims that
I'll tell you this,
have merit.
When you say about what you see about the other side, the question in my mind is how, when you're looking at the media and they're talking about what both sides are saying, my question is, well, what exactly are you seeing from both sides?
Well, like I said, both sides. I think one side's more logical. No, neither side is perfect. I do think the right is a little bit more logical. Okay. In the way that they think. But I mean, the left is just absurd, man. You got all this other crazy stuff going on. I can go down the list, man. The only thing I can agree with the left on is probably what I do agree with abortion, because these hoes. That's another story. My bad. I do agree with a couple things on the left. You know what I'm saying? But I just think that a lot of times they go overboard. They want too much handouts. They trying to create communism and you know what I'm saying, socialism, whatever you want to call it. I do think those paths is what they believe in. A lot of them have came out and said, hey, this is Black Lives Matter. We're trained Marxists. I just don't, stuff like that.
Now here's my question. Of the people who've really said that, how many of them do you really think they understand what the fuck they're talking about? Because most of these Generation Zers, man, and most of these Generation Xers, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. You think about it. How many of them? I've lived in communist China. I've lived there. How many of them have actually lived in a communist country and know what the fuck they talking about? How many?
Do you have to live somewhere to know about?
I would. You know why? You know why I would say yeah, you should, because if you're just learning about something and you have no frame of reference, to me that calls into question. Well, do you really know what you're talking? Like if I could pin them down and ask them a set of questions about why they are believing what they're believing, chances are it would probably turn up that they're not what they say they are. Chances are they probably signed on for something that they really probably don't believe. Because I'll say it like this: a lot of black people are really conservative because of Christianity indoctrination. Now, the newer, younger black kids are mostly liberal because they're indoctrinated in these colleges. But older black people who actually went to church are mostly conservative. They're socially conservative. Most of them are against gays. They're against abortion. So my thing is, if you really got a lot of them and you were able to question them and they think that they're a hardcore liberal, chances are most of them are really Republicans. But they'll never admit to that, because when they see the people on the side that calls itself Republican, they don't trust any of those people because they're all white gun owners. So, you know, that's all I'm saying.
I mean, it sounds like, is that the reason why you don't trust them either?
Reason why I don't trust who?
The Republican?
Oh, no. Listen, I'm a registered Republican. I've showed people on my channel my registration. I'm a registered Republican.
It just doesn't make sense to me, man.
These people who are in office, as far as I'm concerned, they're not real Republicans. So the problem is I'm at odds with them.
What makes Trump not a real Republican?
Well, the fact that this motherfucker just passed the largest goddamn welfare check in the history of fucking America.
What was that?
You remember
what welfare check was that? What was that?
The stimulus.
That was okay.
And then he's asking for more money. He's asking for more money.
So you said Trump, because he passed these stimulus, that was the biggest welfare check ever.
It was easily. I'll tell you what? Can you point in the history and show me a larger stimulus that went out under a president? A larger one? Can you point to one?
So is a stimulus welfare?
Yes, absolutely.
Because welfare is, the definition of welfare is helping those in need.
In this case, it's government welfare. It's government subsidy welfare. In this case,
subsidy, yes, but welfare, no.
You know what? I've been calling that shit a Trump welfare check.
Because it came from Trump, but it's not welfare by definition.
Well, listen. When Obama did it, I called it Obama welfare check. But let me tell you this:
what check did Obama write?
Huh?
What stimulus did Obama write?
Okay, when Obama came into office directly in 2008, after Bush's economy collapsed, the Democrats were determined that they were going to pass stimulus. However, they were afraid to make it $1 trillion, and they knew that the Republicans would never sign on to $1 trillion. So they wanted it to be bipartisan. This way, nobody would be able to point and say, yeah, the Democrats passed a $1 trillion stimulus check. What they did was they broke it up into pieces in order to make it look like it was less. But still, you're talking about numbers that were like 900 fucking million. And and look at who was behind it. Nancy Pelosi, Hank Paulson, all the banks. The banks got their money back and then refused to lend it to the American people. Now, this time around, when Trump did it, I was disappointed in him because he made. First of all, I didn't get any of it, so I'll just let you know right now. They know I made too much money because I filed my taxes back in February. I didn't get any of that shit, so I can talk about it. But the thing about it is, Trump made it so that people who are on child support didn't get it. He made it so that now I think student loan people who owed student loans, I think they got it. But if you were recently divorced or if you owed child support, you didn't get it. As far as I was concerned, you shouldn't be singling out these Americans when they're the ones who paid into this shit and you're lending out their money.
Child support is because of the liberal. But here's the thing, bro. Like a lot of things people on child support are excluded from, and that's mostly because of the liberal policies.
Yeah, but in this case, it was
Trump was trying to change child support. He was trying to change the whole thing.
Yeah. So how much luck and success did he have in the 4 years he was there?
Well, 4 years is not a lot. I mean, he's only like the third president who got 4 years. People was in their emotions, didn't give him a full chance. The economy was doing the best ever under him, but people just
listen. I'm not even going to. I'm not going to say the economy wasn't doing good because I mean, look at what he did.
Man, it was cracking. Come on, man.
No. I'm not going to say it wasn't. he was throwing out Mexicans and illegals. So basically, he was freeing up jobs. And then number two, he had put these tax cuts there, and basically a lot of the companies wanted to expand. So in an expansion, they had to hire more people. So also, I will say this. During the Trump presidency, he was also benefiting from the fact that we were getting all of these sharing programs like ride share, food share, where you could just get on your phone and you could have somebody bring you fucking food. So that means anybody was able to work. Uber, Lyft, all of that shit, Grubhub, this, that, and other. So listen, I'm not going to doubt that his economy was doing pretty well. But I will say,
what's the problem?
There was a large amount of underemployment, and that was the thing that killed him. The underemployment was
not his fault.
No, well, listen, you can say it's not his fault, but those people believe it was.
I mean, if that's the case, it's gonna be the same way under Biden, because underemployment that's a private situation as far as wages. All the government can do is make it so that the companies can be able to hire people, but as far as pay rates and labor costs, I mean, the government can't do everything now. I mean, they can put you to work, but shit, you want them to tell them how much to pay you too?
Well, no, but see, here's the issue though, and this is the reason why. And yeah, I understand that you're against the welfare that these kids are looking for when it comes to student loan reform. But one of the things you got to understand is they were the ones who showed. What'd you say?
I don't know. I can care. I mean, student loans. I don't really like. I don't got no student loans. I'm not.
But see, you don't. I don't have student loans. You don't have student loans. My sister's paid off. Everybody I know personally is either paid off or they're deep in fucking debt. Right now, you got to understand when the student loans are that high and they aren't able to pay them, then that means that the bulk of their money is going towards those loans rather than the economy.
If you take a loan out, you got to pay the joint, man. That's why I mean, if I
you're right. No, you're right. We all signed a promissory note.
Exactly.
All I'm saying is by keeping them out, and when they were signing these crazy ass loans, they had no idea that it was going to come back to bite them the way it did. And the problem ultimately becomes, here they are, can't buy a car, can't buy a house. They're not contributing to the economy besides paying back a fucking loan and working bullshit jobs at fucking Uber Eats. So ultimately, they're working these jobs. They have no health care. So they're going to be a drag on the system one way or another. So the question is what to do about it. I would say take the government out of it altogether. Take the government out of student loans and take the government out of home loans. But the problem is you'd have a fucking uprising. You'd have a revolution on your hand.
Yeah. So I mean, dude, I hear you talk, Brand, but like I said, you're just against what you voted for, man. That's just
I'm not. Listen. You ever play chess?
Yes, I love chess.
Sometimes you got to sacrifice your queen in order to checkmate the other guy.
Yeah, but that's what kind. You sacrificing the economy, though?
I didn't say that.
I'm just saying that's what we're doing. We're sacrificing the economy for feelings, because you just said.
What's the option? What's the option? If you believe in coronavirus and you believe, like, supposedly we're at 306,000 dead, right?
Okay, how many people died of flu today?
I don't know.
So I'm saying, you don't have to be a virologist.
How many people died of being shot in the head by
exactly?
I don't know.
So more people are dying from all that crap. The corona is just, it's like everything else. There's so many other things that people die from. It's just a part of life. People gonna die. Like the fatality rate, you talking about got to be a virologist? No, you just have to know numbers. Look at the fatality rate. You can compare different diseases. Literally, you can see that more people die from so much other stuff than this. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you're out there every day. What happens to all the essential workers? Why they not die? And then on top of that, the people who have died from COVID, they've mislabeled the deaths. They literally came out and said, "Hey,
hold on. You mentioned the essential workers. One of the things that I understood at the very beginning when they started the counts and they started talking about how many people were infected versus how many people had died, because you got to remember, I live in New York City. Mm-hmm. New York City, we had like 2,000 deaths a day, and you saw the videos where they were showing bodies in the fucking.
How many was because of pre-existing conditions versus?
No. But here's the thing. I had friends who they may have been asthmatic, they may have been fat, they may have been too skinny or underweight or whatever. But the thing about it is they were living with it. Coronavirus came along like fucking AIDS and killed them. Just because they had a pre-existing condition. Furthermore, this is the hood. Most of these people have pre-existing conditions because the kids are overweight. The kids have. I got kids who are young and they're more out of shape than I am, and I'm saying.
So how's that corona fault?
They have had pre-existing conditions, but they were living with those pre-existing conditions. This shit came along and fucking killed them.
Allegedly, because they said a lot of those deaths were mislabeled.
Well, now you're saying allegedly, so you're
because the CDC came out. No, the CDC literally came out and said, "Hey, we mislabeled a shitload of."
Yeah, they did that because Trump's in charge. Now let's see what. Let's see what they do when Biden's in charge. We had Trump, and Trump told them to stop reporting the shit. Let's see what they do when
before he did that. They different states was coming out, starting off in Pennsylvania. They said they mislabeled a large number of deaths.
Let me tell you something. I bet you good money that when Biden and Harris are in charge and the CDC is under them, I bet you they're going to end up coming out and saying, "Yeah, Trump told us not to tell you all this shit."
No, they don't come. No, here's the thing. They're going.
I bet you. They're
going to conform to fit the agenda. That's what they're going to do.
But I also bet you that the CDC, people in it, former CDC. Current CDC, I bet you
can't tell the CDC did not report that. They don't have that authority.
No. What I'm saying is that some people are going to come forward and they're going to say, "Yeah, Trump withheld this and told us not to say this." Shit, they might try to make a case to arrest his ass.
He can't do that. He can't tell the CDC not to report on if this is really life threatening. He can't say, "Hey, don't report this."
Oh, so you're telling me he can't fire people? He can't threaten their job? He can't force their resignation?
He can't tell them to say something.
Look what he did to the last attorney general, the guy who looked like Elmer Fudd. Look what he did to him. He forced him to resign because that guy Jeff Sessions. He recused himself from a case because he knew he had to. And then look what Trump did to BARR. When BARR came out and said, "Listen," and now this was BARR, mind you. BARR said, "You know what? There was probably some shenanigans, but it was nothing that would have stopped the outcome of the election." So look what Trump did to that guy. So you mean to tell me you don't think that an underling at the CDC is going to come out and say, "Hey, you know what? This motherfucker told us not to tell you the truth."
All those people you listed, the attorney general, they're working there are under Trump. The CDC is a health branch of the government. He don't have authority to just hey CDC, you saying something I don't like. He would have been did it.
Threatening him.
He would have got him out of here. You see how he is. He can't just. Hey, you're talking about health too much. Get out of here. No, he fired those people because those are matters concerning him. But when it's concerning the public, who did he threaten at the CDC? They literally mislabeled deaths, man. They got in the hospitals get pushed back for labeling something as COVID. That's already been proven as well. So it's like, they get pushed back.
Let me say it like this. You know that the black guy who's a surgeon general, chances are Biden's going to keep that guy and he's going to keep that job, chances are. But how does it look as a president now? And let's just talk straight military, or let's just talk straight, you're the commander-in-chief, right? Mm-hmm. How does it look for you to undermine your own surgeon general who comes out and is talking about mask wearing and this, that, and other? How does it look when you're undermining this guy and you're coming out and saying some shit that's totally the opposite of what he's saying, and the guy was just standing up next to you saying it? How does that look?
It looks good when you make more sense. How's the mask going to protect you from an air? I mean, look, man.
Okay, you want me to say it from a purely scientific point of view? From purely
eyeballs open, you have other orifices in your body.
Hold on 1 second. Right. Viruses are particles. A mask may not be able to stop 100% of the particles. However, it reduces the number of particles that can get into your system. It's just like a spacesuit. A spacesuit is not 100% airproof. There's always a leak. The thing about it is it's able to reduce the amount of air that escapes the suit. Instead, it can't eliminate all the air from getting out of the suit, but it can reduce it. So my only point is, but mask wearing is a decent first step. It's not 100% perfect.
So it's smart to breathe in your carbon dioxide all day. That's what you're saying.
I'm sorry, what?
It's smart to breathe in your carbon dioxide all day. That's what you're saying.
Carbon dioxide is not virus particles.
I'm just saying, you breathing in your carbon dioxide every day when you're wearing these masks all day, every day. It's literally not supposed. It's the reason why your body expels carbon dioxide and you don't breathe it in.
Yeah, that's because of cellular respiration.
Okay, so why are you wearing a mask when you're breathing in literally what you just Why are you breathing in all day? What your body trying to do?
You've worn a mask when you've gone out sometimes. When the mask makes it so that you can't breathe at all, what do you
can't breathe, but
all you do is you just take the shit and you loosen it or whatever you have to do.
You're breathing in your carbon dioxide all day. That's not good for your body. It causes brain damage.
Carbon dioxide exists in the atmosphere. The atmosphere is about the atmosphere is a little less than 1% carbon dioxide when you're breathing in general. Okay. If it was any higher, you'd be passed out.
So what percentage does that go to when you're breathing in your own breath?
Yeah, but listen, Ramil, in order for you to breathe in 100% of your own carbon dioxide,
I'm just saying, what percentage does it go to? He says 1% of the atmosphere when you have the mask on. And
as soon as you breathe out, it goes into the atmosphere. It mixes with the atmosphere. In order for you to be breathing in the carbon dioxide alone, you'd have to have a plastic bag on your head. And you don't.
I didn't say alone. I said when you have the mask and you breathe out carbon dioxide and you breathe in again, you are taking in a way more percentage than you're supposed to be taking in.
Yeah, but why are you talking about carbon dioxide when we're supposed to be talking about virus particles?
I'm just talking about that's one of the setbacks of wearing the mask because of the virus particle, which a mask cannot protect you from an airborne virus whatsoever. So
let me ask you a question. What's the one thing, and there is an answer, what's the one thing that can protect you 100% from virus particles?
We're living in a bubble?
Well, either living in a bubble or staying home.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that you could do to 100% protect yourself. Now, we obviously can't stay home 100% of the time until the virus goes away because we're too stupid to do that. We're determined to go out. I was always believing there was no way to have a realistic quarantine if you've got this many essential workers moving around. No way at all it was going to ever work. Do you understand what the word quarantine means? Quarantine comes from the Italian word quaranta, and that means 40 days. 40 days. So when they used to have quarantines, they would keep you away from everybody else for 40 days straight. Do you think Americans have the discipline to be locked inside of anything for fucking 40 days? Hell no. So there was no way this shit was ever going to work in the beginning. They tried, but you got to remember the reason why they tried was because they didn't want the healthcare system overrun. My hospitals here are full. I've got videotape I took yesterday of the people waiting for the COVID test. The line was around the corner. It was on Northern Boulevard. I got videotape I took yesterday. So my problem is, here I am driving past the COVID testing, and I see a line of people. Meanwhile, I go on Fox News or I go on these conservative channels, and they're like, oh, look at this COVID testing. The whole place is empty. Nobody's there. And I'm like, well, maybe there's nobody there, but there's fucking a line here. So how can you say, like, that's that conspiracy shit? I can't get with that.
Well, like I said, to me, there's way more dangerous things out there, like diseases that have way higher fatality rates. I mean, we're talking about 2% versus the flu, which has way more, versus other diseases that have way more. To me, it's just not. This was like you just said. You just said it yourself. It's possible somebody could have blew this up to get Trump out of office. We're talking about.
And by the way, when you talk about the flu and how many people it kills, one thing I want you to understand. There are lots of, especially third world countries, and there's lots of parts of America where there are people who don't have access to decent health care and they don't have access to medicine. If we were just dealing with the flu, forget coronavirus. The flu kills a lot of people simply because, number one, they don't have vaccines, they don't have access to medicine, they don't have access to doctors, and that's the reason why the flu probably kills millions of people in a year. Guess what, though? What you have never seen in your lifetime is the flu killing 2,000 people a day. You've never seen that shit. You've never seen the flu kill 3,000 people a day.
The COVID, once again, pre-existing conditions, all right, and also the ventilators. You keep saying COVID, but they literally, once again, you ignoring the reports. They said they mislabeled thousands upon thousands of COVID deaths. It wasn't even because of COVID. The CDC came out with a report. They said, look, man, we made a mistake. These deaths, a lot of them, they said this, even if you haven't tested, do you remember this report? Even if they haven't been tested for COVID, if they die in this certain situation, label it as COVID anyway.
Well, okay. Well, let me say this.
How you gonna label something that's COVID? I say he got AIDS when he died. You didn't even come on.
Well, hold on. First of all, let me say two things. Yes, I do understand that there are some hospitals that probably finagle some of their numbers.
The CDC just said it. They said it in the report, brother.
But let me say something else. as a science person, I was never 100% convinced that the tests that they had for COVID were all going to be accurate.
Elon Musk took 4 of them, got
they had came out too quickly. What?
Elon Musk took 4 of them, got all different results.
Elon Musk is a fucking nut job.
Oh, okay. Now he a nut job who found it. One of the most.
Hold on. How well was Elon Musk doing before Barack Obama's administration gave him all of those government subsidies?
A billionaire.
Elon Musk, have you seen the interior of a fucking Tesla?
Yes.
They can't even make those cars. The bumpers fall off in the rain. Do you think a regular company would have been able to get anywhere without all the
all I'm saying is that he took 4 different tests. You saying he's a nut job? He's a billionaire who has one of the most successful companies right now.
Thank you for the welfare. We handed him that money.
So people buying Teslas had nothing to do with that. A lot of companies get government subsidies.
First of all, do you understand how much those cars? First of all, Teslas were $100,000 cars originally. Elon Musk is a liar. I'll make that case right now. In the very beginning, hold on. I'll make that case right now because first of all, if you know how he got his start, he was in that PayPal mafia. That's number one. In the very beginning of Tesla, PayPal mafia. Look it up. In the very beginning, when I invested in Tesla in 2012, they promised us as investors that they were going to.
That's why you mad? Okay, cool. Okay, I got you.
Okay, well, no, hold on. No. But let me say this: they promised that they were going to have Tesla Model S's, and them shits were going to be under $60,000. After Elon Musk got his government money, all his corporate welfare, the price of that car shot up to damn near $80,000, $90,000, $100,000. Right? The average person ain't buying a Tesla then. We weren't able to get $50,000 Teslas until the Model 3 and the Model Y, and those just came out right now. Now, what Elon Musk did was he took just enough corporate welfare to get himself moving, and then once he was able to make it profitable, because Tesla was a loss leader for like 8 years in a row. A lot
of companies do that, okay.
Yeah, but here's my bottom line. First of all, if this was such a Republican country, he wouldn't have been given any money at all.
Got to do with Tesla taking the test. So because of the company, the way he runs his company, that invalidates him taking 4 COVID tests and getting
that guy. Let me tell you something. That guy is
got nothing to do with the results.
Elon, I'll say it like this: Elon
was a con job.
He, first of all, not only is he a con man, but he even told us himself. He was like, "Yeah, fuck California. I'm moving out of California. I'm going to Texas."
Taxes are horrible in that government.
No. But guess what? It wasn't the taxes that he got angry about. It was the fact that California was trying to shut down production because of the COVID. That's when he said, "Fuck this. I'm going to Texas." And we're like, "Yeah, okay, fine. Go to Texas."
They were talking about doing it because of the tax rates.
Well, no, but Elon Musk wasn't talking about the tax rates. Elon Musk was happily taking his government welfare because taxes weren't a big deal to him. He's getting his money from welfare.
Taxes are a big deal to any billion-dollar company.
Do you understand how? I want you to do research on Tesla. Do you understand how much government subsidy that guy got? When I talk, when you talk,
companies get government subsidies, brother.
Yeah, but my thing is, in a Republican country, that shit's not supposed to happen.
Well, hold on, dude. The liberals gave out,
and Trump kept giving them more,
and Obama too, because these companies employ people, right, to keep the economy afloat. Because the corporations literally pay people salaries so that the America keep moving forward. That's why they give corporations subsidies sometimes. The liberals and the Republicans do it. Both sides do it.
If the government is giving you money to pay your own people so that they can pay taxes back to the government, that's the snake eating its own tail.
No, they're not. They're giving them money to infuse the economy, not to get the taxes. They literally.
Here's the question: how well does $100,000 car that nobody can afford infuse the economy?
Well, people buying it. Sure, we talking about
people are buying them now because they're only $50,000. But when those cars first came out, everybody on my channel knows. When I invested in Tesla in 2012, the stock was only $30. I had to wait 8 years before that shit got where it got. And the only reason why it got where it got was because of the government stimulus money.
That's the investing game. You can't be complaining. How long did it take? Bitcoin came out 2013. That shit popped like 7 years later.
And guess what? What happened to Bitcoin? Trump, in his tax plan, started demanding that Bitcoin traders have to disclose all of their information, which totally goes
against the law.
What?
What do you mean they have to disclose when you are trading? What do you mean?
When I say you have to disclose your information, I am saying that the IRS got involved and they said, "Well, guess what? Now you have to show us all your ledgers."
Isn't that the law?
Related?
That's the law, right? When you have to pay taxes on earnings, right? Isn't that the law? To pay taxes on earnings.
Listen, it wasn't like that before Trump's tax.
You're mad at Trump for enforcing the actual tax law when you're supposed to pay taxes on money made.
He didn't enforce the tax law. What he did was he made new laws. And he made them specifically against cryptocurrency.
Because there were none before crypto at first. You got to literally.
And that was the reason why. But no, if you believe in free market economics, which is really the best.
You got to pay taxes on your gains, man. You can't get around that. They were going to come for regardless. Liberal or Republican. Liberal or Republican was going to come after you guys for those capital gains. What are you saying?
So basically what you're saying is Trump raised taxes.
No, I'm saying Trump initiated something that was going to happen anyway. With the cryptocurrency, people making money, not reporting them. When you don't report income in this country, unfortunately, you got to, you know what I'm saying, that's against the law. So any Republican or Democrat was going to do that.
Yeah, but keep in mind,
I'm not let y'all take a bag on crypto.
All right. Okay, fine. So let me leave the tax part out of it. If I want to carry money, the IRS forces you to disclose that too, because they're trying to look out for people who might be money laundering. They have no right to tell me what I
over $10,000. If you have over $10,000,
yes. If I want to fly right now,
I got nothing to do with Trump.
Yeah, but his tax plan did it.
No. It's always been like that. Over 10,000, you have to report it. That's always been like before Trump. It's always been like that.
No, I'm talking about his plan. Is the reason why Bitcoin took the fall it took.
I mean, Bitcoin's taking falls all the time. It's a volatile market.
Yeah, but it wasn't taking. Bitcoin probably would have been to about $50,000, but they purposefully did what they could to cripple it.
It's speculation, man.
No. It's true. That's not speculation. That's true.
It's not. You can't say Bitcoin would have been 50,000 if Trump. I mean, that's hella speculative, bro.
What?
That's hella speculative to say Bitcoin would have been 50,000 if Trump didn't do this. Trump didn't do nothing except
once Trump's tax plan took effect, all of a sudden crypto. That was in 2018 January.
What tax plan? What talking about?
Donald Trump's tax plan. When it was put into place and it went into effect.
Talking about the Jobs and Tax Cut Act, the Jobs and Tax Act of 2017.
Yes.
Nothing in. Okay, first of all, that was the reason why the economy shot up the way it did. Literally, because like you just said yourself earlier, the companies were able to expand with the extra income, which means they had to hire more people.
Oh, by the way, let me ask you a question. When you do,
don't slip away from that though, brother. You trying to slip?
Okay, fine. I'll answer. What did you say?
I'm saying that tax plan you talking about is so negative is literally the reason why the economy shot up.
The economy has been going up anyway. The Federal Reserve is the reason why the economy keeps growing. The Federal Reserve printing money is growing the money supply. I keep saying this on my channel over and over.
Bro, just because the money supply is growing don't mean the economy is growing.
No. It does. No, listen. When the Federal Reserve is printing money and they're putting more credit into the system, that allows more people to have business loans, more people to buy cars, this, that, and other. What I'm saying is that's not even specifically because of any one president. It happens as a result of the Federal Reserve printing more money. Just because a president's there, that has nothing to do with it. The president does not have the power of the purse. So
the economy has nothing to do with the president. That's what you're saying.
No, what I'm saying is that the economy was going to go up regardless who the president is.
That's not true.
What Trump's tax plan does is Trump's tax plan allows you to keep just a little bit more of your income in a year, and then you get to decide what to do with it. That's all that matters. However, when you look at the actual numbers on the economy, it goes up irregardless. It does. In fact, you know what? I'll share that right now.
I mean, anything goes up because of inflation. I mean, if you want to look at it like that, then yes, everything always, real estate, stocks, everything always slowly goes up. But I'm talking about the increase in the rate of increase and the other records as far as lowest unemployment between minorities and, like I said, a lot of other things. You're talking about the permanent trend. Everything always goes up because of inflation.
Yeah, it's going up because of the Federal Reserve. It's not because of inflation. The Federal Reserve is causing inflation by growing the money supply.
Well, like I said, man, inflation it's going to happen either way. All right, but just because the money supply is growing, once again, that does not mean the economy is growing. The money supply can be. This has already been. Look, when they just because they put more money out, it's been time they put more money out. Banks still don't want to give out.
No. But you got to understand. Like, can you see this photo right here? I don't know how well you can see it. If you just type up, yeah, you should be able to see it. It's on the right-hand side, right? The Dow under the presidents. That's our economy right there as it has been going up. It didn't matter who was the president. The trend has been up. Now, here's the thing. As far as what you're saying about inflation, I made the point before that what we're doing is we're trying to outsource inflation by trading US dollars for manufactured goods that are mostly coming in from China. That's how we're getting rid of our inflation. The problem is the inflation comes back because when the Chinese take our money, they can't spend it in their country. What they do is they bring their money back here and then they buy up your apartments and your houses and your businesses. So
wait, they said they can't spend American dollars over there.
You can't spend American dollars in China. The only thing
they got foreign exchange.
Huh?
They have foreign exchange.
When you're in China, the only thing you can spend is the yuan.
Yeah, now, do they have a foreign exchange? That's what I'm asking.
Oh yeah, no, they have foreign exchanges. Okay. But you got to understand, the dollar over there is basically like stock. When you get dollars you can't spend that shit in China. All you can do is exchange it for renminbi, and then you spend the renminbi.
A lot of countries is like, I mean, dude, a lot of countries you got to go to a foreign exchange to get the currency over the domestic currency. What do you mean?
No, listen, what I'm saying is they get US dollars and they don't spend them. They hoard the US dollars. And then when they get ready to do something with those dollars, they bring them here and they buy up our properties. Are you with me?
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm saying, forget the whole foreign exchange thing and whether or not you can change money. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is that we are outsourcing inflation and they are bringing that inflation back in the terms of buying up our properties. That causes our cost of living to go up.
The reason why our cost of living, let me tell you why the cost of living is going up. Well, first of all, like you said, everything goes up, right? And the reason why is because wages are stagnant while real estate's going up. And part of that's because of rent control. All right.
Why is real estate? No, but let me ask you this. Why is real estate stagnant?
No, real estate is not stagnant. It's just like the market. The current trend is always appreciates for the most part.
So what's happening with real estate right now?
It's still doing the same thing. It's still.
When you say the same thing, what is it doing?
It's going up.
Why?
Because that's the natural trend. Like you just showed that chart. That's what it naturally does.
No. Property values real estate is going up because that's natural trend. Why? What economy, right? What causes a house's price to rise?
Appreciation and inflation.
No. What causes a house's price to rise? What's the most basic thing in economics that causes prices to go up or down?
Supply and demand.
Supply and demand. So, would you say that supply is increasing or decreasing? Would you say that demand is increasing or decreasing?
Depends on what city you're in.
Okay, fine. So, what would you say the general trend of supply is happening? Would you say it's going up or going down?
If it depends on, because you're gonna ask the real estate as a whole country. I mean,
okay, you want me to? I'm just gonna explain it so this way, like you can listen to what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, real estate prices are increasing simply because there is so much inflation in the market that the demand is rising, and as demand rises for these houses, it creates less supply. And as the supply drops and the demand has increased,
you know why this lie?
It now causes. Yes, that's what's happening.
No. I'm gonna tell you why it's less supply, because where does the real estate come from? It comes from private people. Okay, private people had to build houses. Yeah, private people had to rent out these apartments, and people are not
the places that are not new. What about the places that are already on the market? What's happening to their prices? They're not depreciating. Why?
Because once again, the demand is up, the supply is down because there's less people taking the risk to go into real estate. That's why it's plenty of space. Only 5% of America's land.
I know you do a lot of real estate research. How much foreign money is coming into our real estate market right now?
I mean, Chinese, like you said, Chinese people are buying a lot of property.
That's what I'm saying.
It's not just Chinese. A lot of foreign people are using
India, China, Asia. And what did I start out by saying? Everybody listens to what I'm saying. I said that America has been trading US dollars for manufactured goods. So what does that mean? That means that if I can go out and buy a 70-inch television for $500, I am giving them worthless dollar bills, and they're handing me a brand new Sony television. Here's the problem, though. You can't spend that money in that country. So what happens? As a family or as a store owner or whatever.
Exchange. You can go to the exchange.
No, Ramil. You're not getting what I'm saying. I'm not talking of. They're not exchanging our money for theirs. That's not what's happening. They're hoarding. Like, for instance, when they caught Saddam Hussein, what did he have in his closets? The motherfucker had tons of cash. They can't spend that cash. First of all, because there's nothing to buy. There's nothing to buy. Do you understand? When China manipulates their currency, they make it so that nobody wants to spend the US dollar in China, because if they spend the US dollar in China, they're losing money. What they do is they hold their US dollars and they make their renminbi in China, and then they spend the renminbi, but they hold our cash. They don't exchange it. They hold it like it's a stock. Then they bring it here and buy up our property. When you see a Chinese investor or an Indian investor, when they do these deals, are they doing it? Well, let me just ask you a question. Simple question. I know you can answer this. Are they doing those deals in cash, or are they taking out loans?
They're buying the cash a lot of times.
Damn right. Where are they getting the cash?
They, like I said, a lot of different places.
You know where they're getting the cash? They're getting the cash because I just bought a $2,000 video card to play video games and to stream online. That's where they're getting the cash.
That's what I'm saying. So you mad at them?
Huh? No, I'm not mad. Listen, there's no shame in their game. My point is the Federal Reserve increasing the money supply is ultimately leading to inflation, higher cost of living, and higher cost of houses that most people can't afford.
But bro, wages, I mean, the cost of everything goes up over time. You take a candy bar from now and a candy bar from back in the day, it's going to be a big difference. Like, stuff goes up. Inflation is not, first of all, inflation is a natural process. And on top of that, the government is mandated to keep inflation at what, like 2% or something like that?
All right, so, actually, they've been trying to keep inflation definitely under 10%. But the problem is, if you're going to point to inflation as a number, what that doesn't show you is the reality of cost of living, which in and of itself is the real inflation felt on Main Street. Do you understand what I'm saying? What I'm saying is, again, if the Federal Reserve, like for instance, if somebody comes to your neighborhood and hands out $1 million to everybody, how much is that $1 million worth if everybody now has $1 million? The first thing they're going to do is they're going to run out, I want a new house. I want a new Rolls Royce. They're going to buy up all the houses. Supply decreases as the demand increases. The Federal Reserve is responsible for this economy.
I understand the Federal Reserve, but what I'm saying is that, I'm trying to understand the point. So what are you trying to, like, what are you trying to get at?
No, all I'm saying is that things may look better on Wall Street, and they also may look better in the middle class or the upper middle class. But for the most part, when they start talking, and by the way, these are peer-reviewed people who are talking about the K-shaped recovery. When you hear that term is as true as, I consider it true. People who did not have money only went right back down to where they were, and people who did have money took a dip. Most of them put their money in the stock market, and they were able to build back some of their, losses. But the thing about it is, the reason why the stock market dropped in the first place is because all of the rich people pulled their money out because they were afraid that it was going to drop.
Exactly. I mean,
okay. So no, but what I'm saying is, to give Trump all this credit a booming economy and this shit, it's like, okay, fine. Listen, if you want to give him that credit, fine.
Do you give Obama credit for it? Do you give Obama credit for it? Because people who will say that
let me be
turn around and give Obama
Let
credit.
me be perfectly honest. Let me be perfectly honest. And I've said this before on my show. No, I don't give Obama credit for it, because whether or not it was Obama or McCain who won, the Congress already had it in their mind that they were going to put together their stimulus things, and the economy was just going to keep on moving up as the Federal Reserve kept pumping money into the economy. Think about back in 2001 when we had 9/11, Alan Greenspan pumped money into the economy. That led to the bust that we had in 2008. In 2008, the Federal Reserve pumped more money into the economy. That ultimately led to the bust we had in 2016. But the beauty of it was that thanks to coronavirus, rather than blame the Fed, they were able to blame coronavirus for everything that happened. Are you following me there?
Mm-hmm.
Do you disagree?
Well, I mean, like I said, bro, as long I'm fine with you as long as you say, as long as you're on both sides. You're gonna say Trump wasn't responsible for the economy, and you keep it the same with saying Obama's the same. I don't got no problem with that.
The economy would have continued going up regardless if it was Obama
what
or
happens when the economy goes down.
Well, no. Well, when the economy goes down, the numbers
that Trump for that.
Well, hold on. The numbers you're looking at are the Dow itself, because the people are using the Dow Jones in order to represent the health of the economy. I think that's a bad idea, but the problem is that's what we're used to seeing. We're used to looking at the Dow Jones, the S&P 500, and basically we're looking at index stocks, right? Mm-hmm. The problem is if something happens, people themselves can say, fuck that, I'm pulling my money out. It's the same thing with a bank. When banks were going under in 2008, they had people lined up around the corner trying to take their money out of the bank. Remember IndyMac? Remember that bank? IndyMac was a real estate. When I would do loans on real estate, IndyMac was one of those banks that was giving out those subprime loans, and they would give you you could have a bullshit FICO and no job fucking docs, and they were giving out those loans. Sure enough, once that 2008 came around, people were lined up trying to pull their money out. If you remember, the Federal Reserve used to only insure you up to $100,000. But there were some people that were at risk of losing a lot of money. So the Federal Reserve bumped it up to $250,000 because ultimately what they were trying to do was they were trying to give people faith that the bank was going to protect their money. That's all I'm saying.
I mean,
the Federal Reserve is responsible for this economy.
I just know one thing. I better not hear anything about you talking about a president and the economy in the same sentence.
Oh, listen, I understand that the Congress itself has the power of the purse. The economy this year coming is going to be fucked up. And we already know it's going to be fucked up. We're losing jobs left and right. We're losing businesses left and right. A lot of record bankruptcies. So I already know Biden's first year is not going to be good. And that's assuming he makes it through the whole year. Because I think
we're already making excuses right now for when Biden is trashing.
Do you consider this an excuse, or do you consider this foresight?
Yeah.
Yo, how you going? Listen, are you going to call an excuse when I tell you 4 years ago that Trump was going to lose in 2020?
All I'm saying is that I look. But you think that they're going to do better than Trump would have done?
No, I think that they're going to be the placeholders while the Federal Reserve does its shit.
You know, okay. I mean,
this economy is due to the Federal Reserve. Why is it the conspiracy theorists don't want to understand the Federal Reserve?
Because the economy, the presidential look, the economy is based on the Federal Reserve and its other factors, not just the Federal Reserve.
The economy is mostly
Federal Reserve a lot of times does more reacting.
No, well, well, here's my question. The Federal Reserve has already dropped interest rates to zero, basically, right? How much more reacting can they possibly do? We basically have quantitative easing infinity at this point. You can't raise rates at all because at this point, when you're $27 trillion in debt, if you raise the rates to even 1%, you wouldn't even be able to pay on the debt. You wouldn't even be able to pay the interest on the debt at this point. So the Federal Reserve has basically put us into zero interest rates forever. How about that? What do you think about that? What do you think?
My bad. The guy that's remodeling my bathroom, he
okay. No, what I'm saying is the Federal Reserve has basically put us into zero interest rates forever.
The Federal Reserve is going to put us at zero forever?
No, we're already at zero. It's called quantitative easing. The Federal Reserve has put us at 0% interest, and there's no way to come out of that.
Wait, hold on. We're not at 0% interest. That's not the official interest rate of the Fed.
No, the Fed has put us at basically zero.
Quantitative easing is that's just printing more money, bro. I mean, but that's not the same as the interest rate, bro.
But quantitative easing also has to do in fact, no. Let me read it to you right here. Federal Reserve voted to keep short-term borrowing rates anchored in 0 to 0.25. Now, I'm not talking about the rates that you borrow like when you're buying a house or something. I'm talking about the fact that the national debt cannot be repaid if it were even to go up to 1%. It would throw us into catastrophe. You wouldn't even be able to pay on the debt because at this point, the debt is $27 trillion. It's outstripped our GDP.
But that trend, as far as that, whose fault is that?
Well, here's the thing. That's not any president's fault. The problem is it's the Federal Reserve Bank. It's like if I give you a credit card and every time you max out your credit card, I raise your limit. And while I'm raising your limit, I'm just saying, yeah, I'm deferring your payments. That's the Federal Reserve, man.
I mean, I understand that. I mean, if you want to talk about the Federal Reserve, that's a whole nother conversation. I don't agree or disagree with them. I mean, like I said, the Federal Reserve.
But it's very relevant as soon as you say the word inflation or you say the word economy, the Federal Reserve is very relevant.
Well, just not by just saying the economy.
I'm sorry?
Not maybe if I say inflation, but if I say the word economy, you can't just the Federal Reserve. I mean, economy, Federal Reserves, they're kind of like the referee, but they're not the game. It's not the game. You know what I mean? I know they print the money supply and things like that, but it's still the people on how they deal with the money. I mean, the Federal Reserve, that's why Bernanke, he's pretty much told you we just print money.
Yeah, we pretty much just print money. That's our problem.
But
here's the thing. Your guy, I forget what his name is. The guy savings minus debt and how much he hates credit cards and this, that, and other. Now, what would you say? What would you say about a country that does all of its spending on a credit card and is paying below the minimum payment every single month? What would you say about a country like that? I think your guy would call them slaves. What does he call them? Slaves? No, they're slaves.
You borged out, brother. You borged on that question. What? I'm trying to hear that again. You borged on that. I'm saying, what would you say? Can you hear me okay?
Mm-hmm. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah,
I'm saying, what would you say about a country? What would you say about a country that does 100% of its spending on a credit card and then doesn't even pay its minimum monthly payment? What would you say? Because your guy would call them slaves.
I mean, the United States is a slave to the Federal Reserve.
Exactly. And that's our issue. That's our real problem. Our economy looks like it's growing. But in fact, your guy says the same thing. He says that if you just got some money in your hand, but you've got debt, how much money do you have? You ain't got no money.
But you don't subscribe to that anyway. So why are you using his example?
That's why I pay off my bills on time.
Okay, cool. Well, that's true. The United States has bad. That's why the credit rating went down.
My credit rating is so. There you go.
Not you, but I'm talking about the United States.
There you go. I'm bringing you around to what I'm saying. The United States government works a lot like your household banking does. It works a lot like it. Our credit rating has gone down because we're so deep in debt, we can't even afford to pay our minimum monthly payment. So whatever our GDP is, we're still so far in the negative that we're not growing.
Yeah, I'm definitely. Well, we talking about what's not growing. What is not growing?
Our economy.
You just said the economy is growing up and growing. You just pointed these graphs.
The money supply is growing.
You said the economy.
Listen. I'll just say it again. Is your economy growing if all of your spending is on debt and you're not paying your minimum monthly bills?
You're talking about the country's credit rating versus the American people and how we interact.
Went down.
look, United States credit rating and the economy of the American people. I mean, look, United States might be fucked up.
Okay, Ramil, if the government comes out and says, "Hey, Ramil, here's a credit card right here, and you have a limit of $20,000," has your personal economy grown if every bit of spending you're going to do is putting you deeper into debt?
Is that what the United States is doing? Everything they spend?
Exactly what we're doing.
So for no, I'm not. I know we're going into debt, but are you saying that every penny that we spend is putting us deeper in debt?
Do you know how much money we spend every single second? Do you know how much we spend?
I understand that, but
$60,000 a second.
Yeah, the debt is not going anywhere though.
Well, the debt ain't going nowhere, but what does that tell you about your economy? If your economy every second is going $60,000 in debt, which adds up to like $1 trillion something at the end of the year. If your economy is doing that, is your economy growing or is your economy shrinking?
Like I said, the economy is not just based on that. There's more other factors for it, like measuring an economy than a credit rating.
How about your production? America's GDP started shrinking, bro.
Okay, now I would be interested in that. So you said, when did it start shrinking? Is it going down? You got a graph on that? I would like to see that. I mean, I'm not saying it's not. I would just be interested to learn that America's GDP went down. That would be
shit. Bloomberg right here, July 30th, 2020. U.S. economy shrinks. Oh, wait. Let me share this. U.S. economy shrinks at 3.2%. Hold on 1 second. Let me pull it up.
Let me see.
I'm trying to get used to this freaking.
Yeah, I see you like StreamYard. StreamYard is the shit.
After I saw you using StreamYard, this shit has solved a lot of my problems.
Yeah, easy and everything.
Oh, right here, baby. Can you see that? U.S. economy shrinks at record. And now this was just July. U.S. economy shrinks at record 32.9% pace in the second quarter. Now we can keep going to
GDP.
The other quarter. Oh, okay. Well, hold on.
Now, and I never denied that the economy was shrinking. I just said the economy is more than the credit rating.
Okay. I'm sorry. Because listen, when I had read it, it did say exactly this. It says worst GDP ever. So this is what I was really referring to.
Like and I say a drop in GDP, that's major, bro. We might as well.
It says GDP, baby.
It says worst GDP report ever. Now the economy. Where's it saying the GDP, the gross domestic?
Oh, hold on. I'm pretty sure that
would be major. I understand the economy, you know what I'm saying? There was different measures, but you know what I'm saying?
Give me 1 second. 2020, because I know they have a graph for it right here. Hold on. Let's see. Is this it? Oh, changes in GDP. Look at that. Can you see that? Oh shit! Wait a minute. I don't know if. Oh yeah. You should be able to see that. Can you see that?
The one all the way to the right.
The one all the way to the right. The red one.
Okay, so I can see. Can you click it and make it big for me? Or
let me see if I can.
Tell me what it says.
U.S. outlook for 2020. Now this was written in. Let me see when it was written. This was written winter 2019 winter. I think this was actually written right before coronavirus, if I'm not mistaken. But as you can see, take a look at this. They're talking about U.S. monthly job creation. Now this is right before coronavirus, right? Look at the job creation numbers from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. Look at how it was going before coronavirus. Now, I'm not even going to talk about coronavirus. Look at this before. Now, this is the unemployment rate. It was, what is this? Job creation was going down.
Okay, let me help you out, man. The gross domestic product of the United States is $20.54 trillion. Where is that going down? That's what I'm asking you.
Wait, what?
You said the gross domestic product went down. The gross domestic product of the United States is $20 trillion. Where is that showing that dropped? That's why I said if you show me some of the gross domestic product drop, that would be something amazing to me. So that's why I'm asking you, where did it show that the GDP drops? Once the GDP drops,
all right. Well, look right here. Basically, can you see this? Quarter one. Hold on.
Let me help you out, bro. It hasn't happened. Okay.
No. Look. Wait. Hold on. Wait. Share screen. Hold on. I'm looking at the thing right now. Let me show you. GDP something US GDP.
Bro, I'm looking. The GDP has not dropped.
Look right here. Boom. Quarter one of 2020. That's when it started going down. Quarter two. Now quarter three, it did go back up. Real GDP. You see this? So the problem is some of the data that I've been looking at. Again, we're dealing with this coronavirus shit, so some of the data is like GDP bounced back after, I guess, the quarantine ended, a Q2, I would suppose. But the thing about it is, it did actually start dropping, and I could show some other rates because you got to also remember, a lot of my information about real time economics I get from Peter Schiff, and he's a libertarian. He doesn't give a fuck about Republicans or Democrats. So I'm just,
I got you. So I'm looking at so GDP in one quarter fell, and guess what? Next quarter, what happened? It went right the fuck back up.
It went right back up. Now here's the problem, though. The spending that was done was based on the stimulus. That's not real growth. That's debt.
So the GDP shot back up because of when did the stimulus come out, brother?
The stimulus came. They put out the stimulus. I think it was January, February, March, April, I believe. Because no. You know what? The stimulus checks were going out between April and September. Because if you remember, a lot of people had not filed the taxes and they had based it on last year. So there was a lot of people who got their stuff late. If you remember, because see, I did my taxes every year religiously in February, so I didn't get shit. But all I'm saying is that the spending that came back to the economy was mostly based on the stimulus. That's why if you take a look at when the stimulus money was being given out and the stock market was going up at the same time. And I believe, I think it was July 30th. That the stock market started to hit an all-time high, and then it dropped down again. And we didn't get back to 30,000 until actually the election. And that's when the Dow hit 30,000 for the first time ever after the election. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So my problem is, once again, this is the basic line. I could go like the charts, the numbers, GDP, this, that, and other inflation rates. They do not tell the real story about what's happening on the street. Businesses are going bankrupt left and right. A
lot of businesses are flourishing, though.
Yeah, there are a lot of businesses that are flourishing. Yeah, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, Tesla.
It's a lot of small businesses that are flourishing too.
But understand what I'm saying is Wall Street's doing great, but what's not doing great is Main Street.
Okay,
that's what I'm saying. Because foreclosures, rental evictions, the unemployment. Now, the numbers may not show that, but these are things is happening.
I mean, like I said, if I use my personal experience, because this is the thing, I'm only one human. So when people start to say disregard the numbers from my personal experience, just because I can see something, it's like the ant. It's like the ant who can only see so far.
Well, look at Federer Super. The Federer says since 2008, America's national debt has surged by nearly 200%, reaching $27 trillion. Now, I'm not going to blame all of that on Trump, but I'm not going to blame it on
Trump. Got nothing to do with the economy. Remember, the president don't affect the economy.
No. We didn't say economy. We said national debt.
No, don't. Oh my God, bro. We literally.
I'm not blaming that. No, listen.
You said the president got nothing to do with the economy.
Hold on. Oh man. I'm not blaming the national debt on Trump, and I'm not blaming it on Obama per se. When Obama walked into office, just as I said before, the Federal Reserve was determined that they were going to pass those stimulus things, which drove our national debt up. And then under Trump this year, when they put that $2.2 trillion in, it was going to go up anyway. Okay?
I mean, like I said, bro, you just, like you said the president's got nothing to do with the economy. That's what you said. You know what I'm saying? I'll let you roll with that.
President's the figurehead, man. Ultimately, the Federal Reserve is in control of that shit.
Okay. I'm not denying the Federal Reserve it has more control over the economy, but the president can pass something. The president can pass something like the Jobs and Tax Cuts Act of 2017, which can have a major. He can get us out of trade agreements, right? The president can do major things for the economy, like the trade agreements, changing that, and also the Jobs and Tax Cuts Act. The president does have a say in the economy. That's why I'm at with it.
But see, here's the problem: the Congress controls the purse. And the Federal Reserve controls just about everything. It controls the money supply and the inflation rate. So how much power does first of all, the executive branch, the only job of the executive branch is to execute the law as passed by Congress. That's the only job
That's so you said
okay. Obviously, they're supposed to defend the borders, hold on. Obviously, they're supposed to defend the borders from enemies, both foreign and domestic. Okay. But constitutionally, the Congress has the power of the purse. The Federal Reserve is not constitutional. That's the real problem here. Our growth is fake.
But if we in the Federal Reserve, now I understand where you're coming from with that. But if we in the Federal Reserve, bro, like what would take its place? You need some sort of central.
Well, listen. When I think it was Ron Paul was running, there was all these calls to audit the Fed and this, that, and other. Yeah. But the reality of the situation is, if you think back to when the king was there, right? The king had the money and the people, all the poor people were right outside the king's door. But the king realized, he's like, wait a minute. I can't just hoard all this money because sooner or later these motherfuckers are going to rise up against me. So what he did was he would portion out money. He had knights at a round table and all that shit, and they would keep the people mostly under control, right? And then they said, no, we're going to give the people something back in order to make sure we keep these people from doing a complete insurrection on me, right? So the bottom line is the Federal Reserve is there because they have to expand the money supply. If our money was kept solely in gold, gold has a limit.
Yeah.
So if you kept it all in gold, it'd be limited. Under the Federal Reserve, there's no limit. Under the Federal Reserve, Ramil can get a credit card for $50,000. He can go on a wild spending spree. And he can say, yeah, you know what? My economy's doing great. Thanks a lot, President Trump, for making my economy great. But ultimately, your growth is fake. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying. And, I see what you're saying, man. As far as the growth being fake, because like I said, they print money out. But look, man,
your man who calls everybody slaves, he says the shit every single fucking day.
Well, I didn't know you messed with him like that. I thought
I listened to him, but I can't fuck with his show too much because I think he is crazy. But
check this out, bro. I do got to get up out of here though, man, because I do got.
Okay, man. You know we love having you.
No, appreciate you. I am going to do some promotion like these others. I'm a sleazeball. So if y'all,
I'm disappointed. Why couldn't you get Bro Truth and fucking Fantastic up in here?
I'll hit them. You know, like I said, they subscribe, but I don't know what they got going on.
I know Bro Truth he's sitting around crying right now. He's upset.
Yeah, I knew you was gonna get on this, man. But look, man, y'all can slide on me if y'all want to on my channel. Thanks, bro, Chucky. You welcome on mine anytime.
Make sure you join Ramil. I always post his videos whenever he comes on with a good topic. So Ramil Amir's channel is there. He can always do with some more subscribers. They always have fire comments.
I appreciate you, brother. I'm out of here.
All right, yo, take care, brother. All right, so let's see. Slick Rick and Nate. I think Mr. Blacktop was trying to join, but he couldn't get in. I think there was something wrong with his computer.
What's up?
Yeah, what's up, guys? What's up?
All right, so guys, specifically, I want to stay on topic. How did you guys watch the Electoral College at all, or did you see William Barr resign?
Personally, I didn't, because I was out. I legit just came back in, but I don't know what happened, guys. Inform me.
Well, no, basically Biden got every single vote that he was supposed to get, and he is now president-elect. So when all those right-wing Republican people are talking all that shit about, the media doesn't control who's president, blah, 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 the simple fact is the Electoral College has met, and now Biden is president-elect.
But the thing was, though, don't the media not call but hint who's winning every election? Didn't they do that with Trump?
Well, they've done it. Well, first of all, as many elections as I've sat through, you got to remember, I've been sitting through elections since 1981. Right. And the thing about it is the media has always told us, okay, this state is doing this right now on election night, and this state's doing this. And it has never been a question about what was happening until 2000 and then again until 2020 right now. There was never a question whenever the media would say, okay, this person is now the presumed nominee. There was never a question about it. What happened this year was you had a lot of Trump supporters talking shit when they found out that Biden won Arizona and then Pennsylvania and then Georgia and then Wisconsin. And they were pissed off because they realized that all of the black urban populated areas were outvoting all of the rural white communities, because that's exactly how it is here for me in New York. in New York City controls New York State simply because it's black, Hispanic, but mostly minority, right? Now, Staten Island is segregated. It's all white for the most part. And then you got Long Island that's segregated, mostly white, right? So they all live outside the city. A lot of them drive in to the city to make their money, and then they go back out to where they live, right? Simple fact of the matter is, all of them are Trump supporters for the most part, but we're not. And we control our state's elections. So they were pissed off because if you notice in every single count, Atlanta, New York City, what else? Detroit, Philly, Pennsylvania. Philly is heavily populated, wherein the rest of Pennsylvania isn't. All of these votes basically came down to heavily populated minorities in urban areas. So they got pissed off. They started attacking the election because they already knew that we beat them.
Exactly. How now? I have a question. How does COVID have anything to do with Trump getting out the White House? When if he just handled it how he was supposed to, he would have won. COVID,
because nobody wants to talk about the fact that Trump is incompetent and he handled the optics of COVID poorly. Yeah. Nobody wants to talk about that. What they want to say is that COVID was a blight or a plague and it cost Trump the election. But what they're not talking about is the fact that Trump was a complete incompetent moron who, during that COVID thing, rather than come out and try to be a better president, he came out talking shit, blaming people, passing the blame on everybody else, and that ultimately killed him. Good for him. Fuck him. And it got him. Yeah. So nobody wants to talk about how competent he was as president. Nobody wants to talk about that.
No, I mean, I wish hopefully Mr. Blacktop and what was his name? Shit. I just hope all the guys come, especially Get Social. I miss that guy.
Yeah, I don't know what the social is. I also like, I haven't seen social that bad. So he must be work or something. But Black tried to get it. And you know, that was just it. Because I was going to go live after college.
Yeah. I mean, it was.
I knew that we weren't going to have those votes.
Yeah, I know. Too. Like I said, I was just out. Unfortunately, I had to go to Walmart, and I can literally tell about how everyone was acting. That literally, and I might be wrong, but literally, it had to have been Trump supporters because a lot of people was just.
Where do you live?
Pennsylvania. So, yeah. So, and then people that go to my college are from Philly, but I'm the only one really that's not. But yeah, I mean, it really didn't surprise me, and I forgot while I was at Walmart that this shit was going on. But yeah, people was acting mad rude for no reason, and I mean, it's sad, but you know, you just got to do you. It's just so sad because people really don't.
If you want to double down on a president who sucks at being president, then shame on you when you lose.
Yep.
Because you think about it. Bush's economy fell apart at the very end, and these motherfuckers were still determined to go for McCain. So I'm not telling you.
Yeah, how was McCain? Like, how was his history?
McCain was a good man. McCain was, you know what the Republicans never liked him? They called him a liberal. But they never liked him. You know, they didn't even want him to get the nomination. But I guess they think that if they ran a war hero, they never had a chance to win because they were up against Bush's legacy. They were up against Bush. They weren't up against Obama.
Yeah. And that's why I say, like I said, I don't know that much about the guy, but I would tell you this for sure. I can tell he was a pretty good guy. And the first time I even heard about him was that speech when he basically tell like, hey, I lost the race, you know, to Barack, you know, and then everyone started booing, but just the courtesy that this guy had, I was like, yo, I respect this dude. Meanwhile, Trump couldn't even do that. Oh yeah. I was like, meanwhile, Trump can't even like fucking like it's just so and I didn't know he passed away a couple of years ago, so you know.
Oh yeah, McCain's been dead.
Yeah. So I didn't even know because I had to search him up, and then when I found out he was dead, I was like, "Oh shit!" But Yeah, that's crazy. Why did he really believe though he was more of a liberal if he was, you know what I mean? Like, what was their
well,
I guess beliefs?
First of all, McCain, his state is not a very conservative state when you really look at it.
Okay.
And the thing about it is McCain had his job for a very long time, which means that he didn't want to file with any of the voters, and they kept him in office. So that basically says that he was wanting to keep his job. And for the most part, he had to do whatever the liberal portion of his party said.
All right. That makes sense.
And you can look up his record. Like, when they called McCain a liberal, basically they were saying that he wasn't strong enough, and this, that, and other. That's the reason why he had to pick Sarah Palin, because he needed a nut job who was as far right as possible to take the attention off of him.
Yeah. All right. Makes sense.
You know, because I tell you, once they allowed Sarah Palin to get into politics, that opened the door up for Trump, because that basically shows you just how dumb a lot of the people in this country really are.
Oh yeah, and as I said, the previous talk that we had, what was it, Friday or Saturday or whatever? Other countries again, it's just looking at us like these guys are. But I mean, it doesn't surprise me because I mean, I'm not saying we're the only country, but we are technically the only country that has, basically the most minority immigrant, nation. So obviously it's bound to just have the most chaos. I mean, in my belief.
Well, the immigrants and the minorities aren't really the problem. The problem is the country's history of racism towards
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. And with the racism shit, and you know what I mean, it's just it was bound to just be huge. So yeah.
Hey, John.
Yes.
Your mic sounds terrible. I'm reading the comments, and I can even hear.
Well, I don't know why my program was kind of malfunctioning with my. I'm using a headphone right now. I'm using a headset.
It's better now. It just stopped.
Yeah, right now I'm kind of cleaning some dishes, but I'm using a headset right now.
Okay.
I'm using a wireless headset, so I'm actually stepped up and away from my computer. Okay. But thing about it is, no, again, all I'm saying is that I'm finally glad that this shit is over. I kept promising everybody that this is exactly what's going to happen, and sure enough, it happened.
So what about that? When is the House of Representatives? When is that going to be over?
Okay, so the next thing that's supposed to happen is on January 6th. On January 6th, they are supposed to finish the confirmation of the votes because they're supposed to get the inauguration ready, and that's it.
He's won like 12 times in the last month.
No. See, this is the problem. Most people don't understand the election process. The process goes like this. There's election day. All the votes are counted and tallied. The votes are conferred right now, December 14th. After December 14th, he becomes the president-elect. So right now, Joe Biden is definitely the president-elect. There's nothing Trump can do at this point. Then there's January 6th when the Congress basically counts up all the votes from the Electoral College. And after that is January 20th. Biden is sworn in at noon on January 20th. Once that happens, Biden is president.
Right.
Until Biden actually swears in, he's not president.
Well, no, but he's been like elect this whole time. Like nothing has changed. He had the title. I think it started on like the 7th or the 8th.
Well, after the votes were finished counting and Biden got 270 electoral votes, at that point he became the presumptive president-elect. But you're not officially president-elect until today when the Electoral College met and counted up the electoral votes. So now he's really the president-elect. He absolutely is our next president. And Kamala Harris absolutely is our next vice president.
Now what is this thing about him being slow? How is he slow?
Biden is an old white man, and at this point, some people are saying that he suffers from dementia. But I'll say it like this. What?
But Trump and him are the same age, only like 2.5 years apart.
Yeah, but age affects some people differently, though. First of all, age has done nothing for Trump except make him an asshole. He's no wiser than he ever was. And as for Biden, all it does is slow down his cognitive abilities, and it makes it. You've dealt with old people before. It just makes them a little bit slower.
But I've worked with people with dementia, and I work with people with Alzheimer's. So when they say this man is suffering from dementia, I've seen people from all the way to the dying stage, from the beginning stages, and the beginning stages don't look like what he's.
Okay. Well, let me correct myself. The right-wing lunatics on talk radio are saying that Biden has dementia, but they have never done testing on Biden to prove whether or not he has dementia. That's a rumor. And they started that rumor in order to make Biden look like a bad candidate. Turns out it didn't help Trump beat Biden. Biden beat Trump. So that's it. Game over.
So, shit. Come on. Think. Give me a second. Fuck it.
Oh, sure.
So what are the Proud Boys and everyone? What are they going to do now?
They ain't going to do shit. They can march around with their little guns and they can talk as much shit as they want to talk. They ain't gonna do nothing. They're gonna, you know what? They're gonna do lots and lots of counter protests. I understand they'll do that, but that's about it. They ain't gonna do nothing. There's nothing for them to do. What are they gonna do? Start some shit and get shot up by the police in DC? Because the police in DC ain't gonna play that shit. You come to DC and you try to start some shit and they'll shoot you in your fucking head.
I'm so glad that we don't have to hear Diamond and Silk no more.
Thank God.
Have you heard of them before, John?
Oh, yeah. I've seen them, stupid morons. And Diamond and Silk. And
Ramen and Milk.
What are those guys? The Hodge twins. I'm going to watch
Oh, don't even get me started with the Hodge twins. Don't get me started with the Hodge twins, bro.
They please me out the first time I watched them. I said, why do these men keep looking at each other and crack up laughing after they sneeze or breathe? It creeped me out the first time.
They creep you out. Well, I mean,
there's a lot of black people who know that if they proclaim their love and support for Trump, they know that the media has a place for them and they'll get their 15 minutes of fame.
Yeah.
And the Hodge twins are that. Diamond and Silk are that. Any other, like 50 Cent is that. Kanye West is that. You see, you get what I'm going. Lil Wayne is that.
Yeah.
That can still get crazy with it though. Like if you watch that stuff, they get
no, they're
morons. They was funny.
What is their educational background? They're nobody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're nobody.
Because here's the thing. Because I started watching them too, but at that time, they really wasn't talking about politics, obviously, until this year. And then when they started about politics, I was like, yeah, these guys are, they're fishy. They're fishy. And,
they're nobody.
Yep. But I was going to ask you about the guy earlier, African diaspora. Like I said, I don't think he's bullshit. And I think he would be a really good person to bring on here. So.
Well, if you can somehow him. Come on. Some people do the live broadcast every single day. I'm not that person. I don't do it every single day.
Well,
when I do it, I'm trying to do it more often like this. But the thing about it is, if you want to come on, I got no problem with it on.
All right. Sounds good. Yeah,
What's your channel name?
What you said?
What's his channel name?
African diaspora. So DIA.
African diaspora, huh?
Yeah.
I see it says African diaspora news channel 1.21 million subs.
I believe so. Yeah, let me double check.
Yeah, that guy is not going to waste time with me because he's going to think that I'm just a small YouTube channel. And the thing about it is, I mean, if you ever want to come here, fine. If it doesn't, I can't let.
Yeah, because I guess something just came out. I guess Joe Biden met with one of the what is it? Freaking social justice. I forgot what's the name. And some shit slipped out, and now everyone's calling, yeah, everyone's calling him Jim Crow Joe. And
that's
when did this happen?
Yeah, this just happened. He met with like the black leaders. Like I forgot what they call it, but the social justice. And they asked him about a question on like how African Americans in this country, like how you going to help, and then he just went on a whole thing about fucking like he was starting with black people at first, and then he switched over to like guns and shit, and that really didn't correlate with what the guy said. And then I guess there was a point where people felt, man, maybe they took it in a wrong way, which I feel like it was, but he was like, black people and Hispanics need to work with each other, but how everyone seen that was like, oh, well, black people need Hispanics to like need to do shit. You know what I mean? I didn't took it that way, but everyone else took it that way. But like I said, I think I will send the link on the Discord so you can see the podcast because you know, Joe was, you know, talking with them. So
I'll tell you like this. I don't hold on to every word Joe Biden says because I already know he's an old man and he was the best DNC you had to run up against Trump.
Yeah,
Tulsi Gabbard did such a great job tearing down Kamala Harris.
Yeah. This echo, John, is terrible.
Yeah, well, don't worry about it too much because it's not. I'm not going to be on here very long.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, and that's why I told people, I was like, look, I'm not for Trump, no Biden, but I'm telling you right now, I want this guy out here. I just can't deal with him no more, and that's how the whole group is. So, yeah, let's see. But I'm going to send the link and see what she does. Because I seen, I think it was like a 20-25 minute, you know, little video clip or whatever. But I didn't took it that way, but a lot of people did. So, yeah.
Well, I'm just glad this thing is over.
He met with. I was just watching it. He met with. Here we go. Civil rights leaders. Yep. Mm-hmm. And they just said his attitude the entire time was bad. The way he was answering questions was kind of pushy. Like, his vibe was like, why would you even ask something like that? That was a stupid question. Here's the plan. He wasn't being as friendly as he was at the what was that thing called when he was sitting down and the people would stand up and ask him stuff. He was so nice then, and after everything he asked, he will always say, I hope I answered your question. You know, did I answer your question? Do you have any more? How nice he was then was a complete turn from what he just did December 8th. And they are frying him up, talking about this is what y'all wanted. This is what the black people wanted. Now y'all about to get served and all this stuff.
And the notorious vlog. Oh, Lord. All right. Look. This is the problem. So, people are people, right? And I'm sorry, John is probably going to be like, what the hell's going on? But the notorious vlog just posted something. And you know what? People are people. That's no matter who you are. People are people. We're all humans. But here's the thing, a lot of people get... Yeah, but this is where a lot of people get shit twisted. See, the problem is I live in a town where people say that, right? What Notorious Vlog said.
Good afternoon.
Is that him? Is that you?
No, that's Michael Garrido. Go ahead.
Yeah,
so, what's up, Mike? But the problem with that is people use the card, right? So I know people that are brown, right? No matter what, you know, background, and will use the black card as an inconvenience for social reasons. But when the shit doesn't work, then they claim to be someone else. And I personally dealt with this in the town where, unfortunately, no matter who you are, you get, you know, you got a fucking gun to your face. But unfortunately, the people I grew up in, the minority group of people I lived around my whole life, use that as a fucking, you know, as a little social card. But when it doesn't work, then they want to leave it go. And it was so disrespectful because it's like, why would, you know what I mean? It doesn't make no sense. It's just totally rude. So, like I said, with Notorious Vlog, like I said, I see what you're saying, but no. So, because it just really is a topic that's really important to me. And like I said, it's not everywhere, but like I said, the town I grew up in, there's a lot of bullshit propaganda, and it deals with that. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, you know what? One of the things about me is when I hear propaganda, I recognize it as soon as I hear it.
Yep. Yeah. So, and it's sad because, like I said, because, you know, obviously, John, I think you guys already know, me being African American, not trying to get off topic again with the politics, but again, kind of deal with social politics or whatever. But my girl, she's from a Hispanic background, specifically Puerto Rican, just like notorious blog here with the flag. And the problem is, I respected her so much because even though people that she knew in her life use that black card as a social thing, and then when it doesn't work, they let it go. She didn't do that because she see the problem with that. Again, now, you know, because she's Puerto Rican, it's not a race. A lot of people get that twisted. It's not a race. It's a fucking culture, and I think Mike knows this too because I think Mike said he's from a Latin background as well. But again, when you use that black social card, you got some black within you,
it's a
but
culture.
you can't claim because you guys are all so many things. European, you know what I mean? Some black, and already some Latin, but you just can't claim to be someone else and just use it as a social card because it's just totally disrespectful.
They claim you are black, apparently.
I mean, yeah, that is true, but again, it's not like that no more. So that's thrown out.
It's not like that if you can catch them doing it. Because if you can't catch them, then you just don't know.
Repeat that again, John. I'm sorry.
Well, no, the problem is with these people that you're dealing with now, you have to catch them in the act. If you don't catch them in the act.
No, I did. No, I did. And that's why I got hated on at my school because, like I said, in my class, as again, I unfortunately fucking graduated this year, which sucked ass, but it was only probably, including myself, maybe like 7 black kids. And everyone else, it was either Caucasian, but it wasn't mostly. It was mostly Latins of Cuban, Dominican, and Puerto Rican, because that's the 3 that make up the town. It was some El Salvadorians, some Ecuadorians, but it's so much fucking rivalry at the school because even though it's so many not a lot of black students, they're all Uncle Toms, and that makes it harder for like the real black people out there because those Uncle Toms are just making the situation worse. For crying out loud, some of the students didn't even know what fucking Uncle Tom means.
Well, no, but here's the problem: most people think they know what it means, but they're wrong. Do you know what Uncle Tom means?
Yeah.
What is
that whole blackface shit?
No.
Well, it's similar.
Uncle Tom comes from Uncle Tom's Cabin. And the problem is Uncle Tom was a slave who was tortured for information to give up an escaped slave. Uncle Tom wasn't a traitor. Uncle Tom was tortured for information. So people keep saying the term Uncle Tom as if
I heard of that before.
The problem is that doesn't mean that you're a traitor. It means that they're using it wrong.
Mm-hmm. But, and I don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you're wrong because I know that's right because I heard that shit is right. But again, you still get what I'm saying. It's just it's not cool. They would rather help other people, which I don't believe that you should just help one group of people. No, help everyone. But you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, nah, fam, it's not cool. It's not cool, man.
Oh, I hear what you're saying. I hear exactly what you're saying.
Yeah. And like I said, because I got bullied for even just being black, man. Like, I will tell you this right now. And a lot of people, when they hear, they're like, oh, it's probably Caucasians. No, because racism can come from anywhere, bro. It can come from anywhere.
Yeah.
And when I tell them the thing, they'd be like, oh, why?
One thing that I do want to speak on.
I'm sorry, Mike. Keep going.
All right, you know what? I have to address somebody really quick. So this person, Paula Case, says Biden has not won. This person,
oh my God.
Here we go.
Biden has already won.
What the hell? It's a troll. It's a troll. It's a troll.
Now, I keep on posting this thing, and I've got these loser Trump supporters who never come into attack because they're all cowards. So that's number one. Number 2, the election is over. It's been confirmed that Biden has won the election. Number 1. Number 2, he has to be inaugurated and he will become president.
It's a troll, man. A huge troll.
Listen to that stupid right-wing shit. But guess what? All of y'all can cry your eyes out. I don't care.
It doesn't matter how much Lori Ingram sags her lips at the camera.
Moron.
Puckers them out.
Hey, Paula Case, join the chat. Join the chat, you coward.
Tucker Carlson could
Hey, John.
Ugly.
Hey, look at this one. Look at this one. I've got another Trump supporter right here. You're the loser.
John.
Jesus, America first, and guns. Guess what?
John.
All of that shit.
What? Oh my
John.
God, these people are dumb.
Yes.
Yo, like literally no brain cells fucking left. Like, I'm sorry. It's done, man. I can't believe this people. It's so sad. That's what I'm saying. It's a cult. It's a cult. That whole time, Trump supporters are just cults. I'm sorry.
Run the
Let me say what I was going to say.
Okay, go ahead.
So basically, like racism comes from everyone. It's like, for example, like even though I'm Hispanic, I do have like a certain discriminatory reaction to like Arab people in a way. Because since I'm Hispanic, historically there was a rivalry between the Iberians and the Moors.
Well, listen. Over all this time, a lot of people moved all over the world. A lot of people have bred. A lot of people have connected. I'm not really concerned with the past. I'm concerned with the president's future.
Yeah. I get the point where you're going at. For example, like me, like it's kind of good that Biden is winning because we need to get out of office. The current president, Donald Trump.
Oh, he's gone! No, get him! He's gone! January 20th. He is gone.
I know he's gone. But the guy is resisting. He's trying.
They can resist all they want. The beautiful thing about the Constitution is it's very, very clear. Trump will be evicted come January.
One thing that I do want to point out is we got to start thinking about what happens after Biden's victory. I know he already won, but he only has 4 years, and then he'll get reelected. So we don't know what's going to happen. So we need to be prepared for that because
we can start planning for how we want to hold these elected officials accountable. But the simple reality of it is, it's like they're going to get into office. 2021 is going to be a nightmare because you've got a whole lot of people who are Trump supporters who refuse to accept him. So they're going to be talking shit all year long. And then on top of that, you're going to have...
Biden inherited a crippling economy.
What? No, well, listen, Obama inherited a crippling economy too. They never took any of that into account, and they just constantly hammered on him because he was the first black president and they didn't like it. This time around, however, they're pissed the fuck off because their cult member has been destroyed by the election. So, listen, I don't think 2021 is going to be that great of a year. I think we're going to have a lot of... Scooch Lover?
Who said the N-word?
Bye, Scooch Lover. You're really funny, ass.
Wow. This guy, wow.
What a loser.
Wow.
I thought I was in somebody else's life for a second.
Dead ass. What the fuck just happened?
No. Let me tell you what just happened. Another Trump supporter is watching, and they're pissed off because their grand leader got his ass.
Hey, John. Remember when you had that guy from Alabama on Discord, and he was saying the N-word?
Yeah, fuck.
What?
Listen. The sad thing about it is, white people in general think that they know what it takes to annoy a black guy like me, and they have no idea what my personality is like. So they don't understand that I have all the power right here. You come on here talking shit, you disappear. That's it. I can give a fuck. I don't care. He's gone. Just like that.
Right. Like just like thin air.
How is Trump not a racist, but auto racist supporting him?
Because that's what... Listen, Trump's entire presidency is based on white nationalism. And they don't want to talk about that because if they talk about it, it starts to actually make sense to people who don't understand what white nationalism is all about.
You know what it's
white nationalists are... I'll tell you like this. White nationalists are terrified of China because China is the one country they can't beat. And
white nationalists are terrified of everyone. People from color.
Trump's job was to basically put in protectionist policies, right? So ultimately, Trump came in, He did his protectionism spiel, and it didn't help him. He lost, and now he's gone.
There are no black.
You also got to understand that white nationalists are scared of people of color, because Jorge Ramos, remember, he did an interview with the guy thought he was very well educated, but he was like, I feel like people should be segregated, and we should limit the immigration of people of color or whatever. And so he admitted that he was afraid that white people supposedly were gonna be extinct or whatever. I don't know what he was saying, but that guy was kind of crazy in a way.
Well, no. Well, listen. First of all, I remember when white nationalists had a channel on the internet called Stormfront, right? And all the shit that's happening right now, they've been talking about this for decades. And Trump is the first person they can get to put all their politics forward.
Wait. Does someone see the group chat right now?
What?
Please, someone. I don't know what the fuck. Add a vote. I don't know. Sorry, he was like Black Trump.
Black Trump.
Yeah.
I don't know. Why don't you come into the chat?
Yeah, please come in. You talking shit? Let's go. Come on.
One thing I want to say. One thing I still want to say, we still have people like ABL, Anthony Brian Logan, Alex Jones, and Colin Noor. Some of these people are dangerous, even though they're black and radical information.
Garrido, how are you listening to this? Garrido, how are you listening
to this?
Wait, what?
What were you gonna say? I didn't hear
that. I think you're echoing. I think you behind you is a source that's playing, and it's echoing the feedback.
I mean,
yeah, it's echoing. I don't have no idea.
I don't hear it. I mean, I don't think it's from garage.
I hear it.
It's echoing.
I got echo cancellation on, so it can't be me. There's no way in hell.
No, but that's assuming the echo cancellation work.
Huh. So is it from me then?
I have cancellation too.
Yeah, who the fuck? Yeah, Garrido, go in your settings. It says cam and mic, and then go to audio, and then see if it says echo cancellation. Because I got my on.
It's the box is checked. The echo cancellation box is
yeah, because I don't feel like Garrido's echoing. I don't hear shit from
Look at Mark. BARR and Chloe.
Wait, John, you're also echoing too.
Yeah, John, you echoing, man.
Let me grab my mic.
Yeah.
Hold on one second.
This is crazy. I think we got some of these white nationalists hacking us.
Yeah, I know. And it's like I said earlier, Garrido, I think we had to talk about this in the Discord about a month ago. Yeah. Yeah, we do.
Wait. I probably muted myself. Hold on. I probably just muted myself.
I mean, we can hear you now. Yeah, we can hear you now.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, you're still
Garrido, can you hear?
You're still echoing a little bit, though. Yeah, we can.
Not for me, again, but yeah, it's better though. So. But that's why I'm saying, Garrido, like when we had that talk about a month ago in the Discord, you probably don't remember, but that's why the shit you were saying, I was fucking with you. So no, John, we hear you. John, we hear you.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you perfectly fine. Just need a second, guys. But the audio is better.
I think we need to give him.
Hello?
A couple.
Yeah, we can hear you, John. Guys,
Hello?
I don't think he can hear us speak to him. Ah, shit. Can someone go in the chat? Yeah, someone text in the chat that we can hear John, but he can't hear us.
Hello?
If you guys can. Please.
You guys hear me?
That'd be nice if you guys can.
Hello? Nope.
Thanks, Nate.
I know my mic is on, but for For whatever reason, I can't. Wait, let me try to put my speakers back on. Hold on, just let me turn my headphones back on. All right, so you guys can hear me, right?
Yep.
Okay, I'm using my microphone on my webcam. I don't know why, but for some reason I was having an issue. All right, so I got a guy in here named Mark Fletch, and he's trying to spread misinformation. So I'm gonna shoot this shit right down right now.
All right, let's get ready.
William Barr said that his last day of work will be December 23rd. The sad thing about these loser Trump supporters is that they're not going to believe that Trump is completely lost until January 20th at noon. And then they'll understand that he's gone.
I still feel
I'm not going to waste any time with it.
Yeah, I still feel like even after that shit happened, I just these people are so like morons. I still feel like
they're cult members.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're cult members. That's what I'm saying. They're psychopath cult members.
You can't argue with a cult member.
Nope, no, you can't.
That's all they are. And they lost.
Yeah. So it's just like I don't really feel like any. Do you think any other president had like a following like huge as Trump's?
Do I think any other president had a following as big as Trump?
Yeah.
I would say Obama did. I would say JFK might have. But the thing about it is those weren't cults. Yeah. Like Obama's following, genuinely, it wasn't a cult.
Yeah.
Trump's following is a cult.
Yeah. I would say also too. What was the other president? I think he was like in the
Bush, Reagan.
No, Reagan. Yeah. Reagan.
Reagan, I wouldn't say was a cult. I would say that was the right. Like he had a very high popularity. Yeah. But I wouldn't say that was a cult.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to mean as a cult. I would say following. Yeah. Because he used to be an actor, a celebrity, or whatever. So
exactly, yep. It's kind of like with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold Schwarzenegger was a celebrity, the greatest action hero ever. So when he won governorship in California, they voted for him specifically because he was Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Well, yeah,
like they didn't vote for him based on his fucking politics.
How did he do? Like honestly,
he won. He as a governor, he didn't do shit because the thing about it is California was in a steady decline, so he couldn't really do anything.
Yeah, but no, what? Like I said, like did he try? Like, do you think? Like,
he tried. He tried.
Yeah. All right, that's good. At least he. I think he enjoyed it. Fuck it. So fuck it, man. I think California's just one of those states, man. I can't. I would never personally. It's cool, especially in Northern California, but I would never live there. Hell no.
Well, my problem with California is that I mean the right wing does have a point. California is going too far into a woke thing.
Well, yeah.
It's just going too far. The taxes are too high.
Yep.
The middle class is leaving, and I think a lot of that's by design.
Yeah, because even a guy, I used to work somewhere, you know, we would get people from all over the world, basically, and obviously other states. And this guy from Cali, he was like, yo, even with the inflation and shit, you guys fucking gas is so much cheaper, even though we got boils right there.
Is that
California has a lot of bad states.
Well, it's not
just
the whole California. It's also the whole country. You gotta look at Oregon. You gotta look at Washington. You gotta look at other places that are popping. Right now, they may be booming, but later on, they're gonna be the same as California. That's why I plan to move to a different country.
Yeah, that is true, man. That's why I think too. It's going to be. I mean, I think the time is starting now where a lot of people is moving out of the country, man. Like that's what I believe.
They're moving out of the states.
Well, we already know that fucking New York bullshit. We already know that's not true, but yeah, because I know that shit.
Ultimately, the thing about it is the only people who are really willing to leave this country are people who work for companies outside of America where they could get a job in a foreign country. Nobody else is leaving.
Yeah, that is true. But
well, I mean,
yeah, man. No, go ahead, Mike.
You have other countries with kind of job prospects.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of countries out there where there's job prospects for you, but the reality is the only people who are really willing to leave America are usually retirees or people in the military or people who, for whatever reason, they see that there's another country that has something that they want to get to.
Yeah, it's not easy to immigrate. Like, I think it's not for everyone. It's for the person who is driven, I guess.
Yeah, most people can't really afford to leave because when you leave America, you got to sell everything, and if you do have a pension coming in, it's like the guys who are most willing to leave America are divorcees.
What's divorcees? I feel like this is an idiotic question, but
no. If you divorce,
what you said?
If you divorce.
Oh well, yeah, okay, yeah. Let me just.
Yeah, those people are willing to leave America, no problem.
Shit, I'm trying to think of something else. Yeah, that Australian dude was kind of funny.
What?
The Australian guy, I thought he was going to come on. Did he?
Well, for him, it's like 8 o'clock a.m. So he might not even be awake yet.
Oh shit! Yeah, the time zones. True. But he's 8 in the morning today.
Right here, it's like 5:35.
Shit, Pennsylvania right now is 8:36 right now.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, fucking PA. Oh, Lord. Love my home state. No, the fuck I don't.
Well, I've been down to Pennsylvania, so I totally understand exactly who the Trump supporter is. But the problem is there's not enough of them.
Yeah, I tell people this, like, because I used to have roommates, because again I'm a college student, but I used to have roommates that came from, well, it wasn't really better states, but Georgia and Florida, and I told them this. I was like, look, the people up here are really special, so just get ready. And they seen in the 2 months they was here, and even all of them are leaving back to go. Like, they're doing online schooling, but all of them are going back home because so that just shows you.
They're relocating.
Well, no, they're just going back home, but yeah.
We're for a ride ahead, man. I mean, things are not going to be perfect because you got 70 million people pissed the fuck off, but they ain't shit to do about it.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a rough ride.
I'll tell you, this year was John. This year was pretty way off. Like, I feel like it was a waste of my time.
This year was a catastrophe. This year was a catastrophe. They call it the Great Reset because they call it the Great Reset because it's been like a total catastrophe.
Yeah, I can truly believe that. Yeah. Like Peter Schiff said.
Well, yeah, I listened to Peter Schiff. I listened to a couple other people. Schiff is more doom and gloom than a lot of the other people are, but he has good points.
Yeah, that is true. Wait, Jim Jones? Oh, no. Okay, my bad. Yeah, Jim Jones, he's fucking... Yo, this guy is... Oh, he makes me lose brain cells. Oh, my God.
And the shame of it is, these people were really certain that Trump was going to be able to stay in office legitimately. The bottom line is, when people come to vote against you and they outnumber you, you're done. Trump, if it was because of the popular vote, Trump would have never been president at all.
Yeah. Do you think they're going to really throw out the electoral shit?
The Electoral College, in this case right here, is what made Biden president. They're never going to get rid of the Electoral College because it would take a change in the actual Constitution and then not planning on doing any constitutional conventions in order to make that change. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, because I don't want to put words in your mouth, but did you say if they took over, if they took away the Electoral College, that Democrats was going to win, right? I don't know.
If they were somehow able to get rid of the Electoral College, the Republicans would never win the national election ever again.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. They don't have to change the electoral college. All they have to do is keep pushing people into all the surrounding red states and making it so that they can vote and they can win elections because they're overpopulated cities.
Yeah.
Look at Philly, look at New York City, look at Atlanta. That basically that's what it is. New York has been pushing people towards Georgia for a long time.
Yeah.
You know, and look at California. California damn near flipped Texas.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, man.
California turned Oregon and Washington. California is basically changed Colorado, Denver. It's also changed Arizona.
Yeah, because is Al Grudo still here?
I'm about to get off. I did see him pop in, so I'll add him. But
no, Mike. I mean, Mike. Yeah.
Yeah.
My bad.
It's soon gonna end up in California. So many people want to go there. It's gonna get.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. Yeah, how is shit down there?
Well, California's economy has its issues because they're highly taxed welfare state. So yeah, they're gonna have problems anyway. But what they're not trying to do is they're not trying to create jobs. They're trying to push people out. And the next generation of kids is going to get pushed out of California, and they're going to go towards Texas, and they're going to go towards those other red states over there, and they're going to flip those states.
Yep.
This is really, some people call it just a conspiracy, but I believe that there's a plan there.
Well, I mean, I'm saying
California because I already have a house here.
Oh, well, you live in Cali?
Yeah, I live in San Diego. Yeah, I live in San Diego. It used to be known to be one of America's finest cities. It's actually pretty bad. But it's actually pretty bad. If you go to downtown San Diego, you go to El Cajon, you go to El Cajon. Things are getting pretty bad. A lot of homeless people, a lot of crime. It's basically going to turn like Los Angeles.
Yo, so not even just that. Yeah, so last month, you guys, I think I sent it to the Discord. It was fucking SWAT in front of my fucking home. But then fucking what happened just now too is they found legit 5 dead people on one of the busiest streets in my hometown, and somehow no one's seen that shit. Like even like I don't fucking get it. So yeah, man, it's crazy.
It was pretty discreet. Where you're at.
Like I said, the street where they found the bodies is basically one of those roads. Like you come on a highway, and one of those highways turns into like one of those roads where like people just pass by the town.
Well, let me tell you something where I live.
Yeah.
Because I live near the border between Mexico and the U.S. And I can tell you that there are times where people do not come out alive, or because there are times where the CBP agents will like literally shoot certain people. They don't like to talk about it. It doesn't get that much publicity. But you find it in the article. For sure, if you really want to dig deeper. And I feel like that's what's happening in most places where crime is going to rise. They don't want to tell nobody. But when you know where the sources are and the receipts, you already know what's happening. But if you share to some people, they might block it or like censor it or ignore it.
Yeah.
Like literally.
Huh. All right.
All right, well, listen, guys. I gotta get off right now because I have to repass my computer. But it was really nice having you guys. We've been on here for 2 hours, 22 minutes. Yeah, so it's nice having you guys on here. I don't know if I'll do anything else unless there's a major news story or something happens that I want to do another live
more often. Like you should make a schedule.
I'm gonna, now that I've tapped into StreamYard, now that I've tapped into Yahoo, I plan on doing these things.
Do it on the weekend, like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, or within those days. You could choose a day.
Absolutely. I try not to abuse it because a lot of people, like for instance, there were like a total, I think we got close to 100 people in here today, but it quickly died off after a while. So my thing is, I don't really abuse it. I try to do it when something major happens, because, I've noticed a lot of other people, they go live and they have fewer subscribers, but they get more people viewing for some reason. So I try not to abuse it too much, but I'm definitely going to be doing more.
All right. Ebola 2.0, not playing. Hell no.
But anyway, yeah, it was really good having you guys, and I've got to go because I've got to repass my computer. So I'll see you guys again, and thanks a lot for coming.
Got you.
Things more often somehow. Be creative a little bit, and name them something. Like have a playlist for the live streams.
Right.
Yeah, all right, a podcast or some shit. That'd be fire. All right.
You guys take care. Have a good night.
You too. Bye.